I told you people that the people in Maine were wackos. I told you that they were weirdos. And that Graham Plattner might just win more votes because he does have a Nazi tattoo. And like Nazis, he's okay with killing babies on the day that they are to enter the world and do this thing called being born. We'll talk about it, folks. Mike Church here with you on a Wisdom Wednesday, asking the question of the day.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
Well, I'll tell you.
In order to ensure the security and continuing stability, the Republic will be reorganized into the first galactic empire.
No, you can't.
For a safe and secure society.
Fire.
So I'm calling on Congress to pass these reforms, and I'm going to sign them into law. You called down the thunder, well now you got it.
You tell them I'm coming, and Howls coming with me, you hear? Howls coming with me!
By the way, on the non-war, that is a war, and with a non-existent ballistic missile program that is not a ballistic missile program, the Iranians apparently used their non-existent military program that consists of bottle rockets, M80s, and smoke bombs and slingshots. What do they have? Daisy BB guns? What do they have? They don't have any. What threat? They have no threat. They don't have anything. We obliterated them. Well, apparently we didn't. We need to go back in and do some more obliteration. What did I tell you the other day? And what have I been saying? The colossal miscalculation that has been this disaster that is in the Strait of Hormuz, and this disastrous affiliation and alliance with these lunatics, these Zionist wacko lunatics in Israel, exposed the United States military's best kept secrets to earth. Remember in the early days we were reading Pepe Escobar? And we were telling you that if you look, there was a Chinese frigate. No, I just thought it wasn't a frigate. Basically, it was a Chinese, what we would call kind of a destroyer, battleship. Big one. Big hitter, dilemma, long. Where was it parked? Remember, we did this probably late March, early April. Where was it parked? It was parked in international waters in the Gulf of Oman. It was within high-powered radar range of the action in the Straits of Hormuz at the United States and Israeli Air Force in their sorties that they were flying into Iran. The Chinese were close enough to monitor. Chinese were close enough to gather data. You combine the ship being there, and there was more than one, but that ginormous ship with its advanced radar capabilities, and then the satellites that they have in high HEO, high Earth orbit, and LEO, low Earth orbit. You combine the two, and you have one whale of a intelligence. What's the word? George Washington called it reconnoitering, reconnaissance. You have one whale of a reconnaissance system. And so what were the Chinese doing? They were watching what our aircraft were doing. They were watching flight patterns. They were watching altitudes. They were watching attack patterns. They were watching how we were using stealth technology and radar and sonar and whatever else was going into it. And they were gathering the data, and then they were processing it. So what ultimately happened? Two American F-30, one was an F-35E, I want to say, and another American were shot down. Were shot down. We denied it, but that's the truth. They were shot down. Well, how's that possible? I mean, they're stealth fighters. You're not even supposed to be able to see them. Well, it's because in cahoots with the Chinese, the Iranians had the ability to not only see, but to accurately track and then accurately fire upon American, as I said.
Super high-tech jet fighters.
So yesterday, or 2 days ago now, the Iranians apparently had an altercation with a Black Hawk, a U.S. Black Hawk. And we don't know the circumstances because they won't tell you these things. But we do know that the Iranians, who have only baling wire and chewing gum, the Navy's at the bottom of the sea. They have no Navy. They have no Air Force. They have no missiles. They have no capability. We're obliterated 4 times now. 4 times. Rowdy Gaines comes in 5th. I won 87% of the counties. Did you know that? I got front row seats at the World Cup. I'll be the only one there. No one's coming to watch it. There was an altercation or some sort of a embroglio, as they say in international circles, with the Black Hawk helicopter, and the Iranians fired upon it with their non-existent missile capability, and they shot it down. Now, you must ask yourself the question at this point, what in the hell is happening here? The overarching salient point. And by the way, a Black Hawk, we're not talking about some helicopter you go to do news reports and traffic. Talking about an extraordinarily expensive piece of hardware. So they were able to shoot down. Of course, no, it's not it's not a
Super high-tech jet fighters.
So it can't do the evasive maneuvers and things that a jet can do. But why was it in range, and why did the Iranians fire upon it? Why were they able to successfully shoot it down? Remember me telling you the other day, you can't go to war with the Iranians. They have all your secrets now, Trump. Push up Pete. You can go to all the generals you want. You're not going to be able to successfully do this willy-nilly. Remember, we can fly over their airspace and do whatever we want. They were complete and total air dominance and control. Doesn't sound like you were air dominant to me. So why is this continuing? Maggie, did you get the signal message I said? Did you get Glenn Greenwald? I sent you... Greenwald was on with, I think it was Piers Morgan. Okay. And there was a discussion, and somebody was making excuses up for why this happened. And Greenwald goes, stop. Just stop lying. Just stop, dude. You're a propagandist liar. Just stop. And then Greenwald proceeded, who is a noted journalist. If you don't know, Glenn Greenwald is the journalist. I interviewed him on SiriusXM Patriot Channel in 2012 or 13 when that story, when did Edward Snowden defect? Was it 2013? I think it was 2013, when Glenn and Laura Poitras met Snowden at that hotel in Shanghai and conducted that famous interview now that Oliver Stone made a movie about it, basically reenacted it. I interviewed Glenn shortly after that. I could probably interview him again. He would know me and I know him. He is the journalist, reason just for credibility's sake. He's the journalist that was with the UK Guardian American edition at the time. And then shortly after the Snowden story broke, which was probably the biggest news story of the final years of the Obama regime, until Obama did what he did, or agreed to do what he did with the Russia hoax against Trump. So Glenn got the scoop on this. So I bring this up, and then he quit. He resigned at the Guardian.uk. Because they were telling him, you can't do that story. We're not going to publish that. He said, wait a minute, this story's huge, definitely huge. And he was like, you know what, I'm just going to quit. So he started his own independent journalism or independent journalist online magazine. It was called The Intercept. Interestingly enough, you know who worked at The Intercept for a little while? Barry Weiss. Greenwald says that Barry Weiss is the worst thing to ever happen to broadcast TV news. So I saw the interview with Greenwald. And with Piers Morgan, he goes, stop this. You're lying. Let me tell you what's going on here. Trump thought he was in control. He thought that he could manipulate and could tell Netanyahu no. It has been revealed to him now that he can't tell Netanyahu no. And he can't tell the Likudists in Israel no. They won't let him. Now, I want people to consider this for just a moment. We can talk about Catholicism and the reach of Christianity and what we're doing here in the United States. All we want, but as long as you have a government that is controlled by a foreign entity, a foreign government, you're in big trouble. You are in big trouble. And that is the situation that we are currently in. So why is the Strait of Hormuz currently closed? Because the Israelis want it closed. Why are up to 50,000 Americans still within firing distance of the Iranians? Or should they turn on us, the Saudi Arabians, or the Qataris, or the Yemenis, or the Iraq, or whoever else? Because they can't leave. They are being told, you're not going anywhere. So we will talk about this as the program gets underway here today. And the Golden Truth Ticket, day number 3 here. Your odds of winning $53,000 worth of gold right now are just so unbelievable. If that contest were held today, you'd have a better than a 1 in 300 chance to win that gold for a mere $50. I'd go buy me 20 tickets right now. So go to winapoundofgold.com and make sure you get your tickets. And if you want to donate your tickets to a charity, you can do that with the Pay It Forward feature there, or just tuck them under your pillow and keep them there for safekeeping. Winapoundofgold.com. What else is going on? Well, I want everyone to know that I am so thankful that I get to go back to the United States Senate and represent Zionists and Israel on behalf of all of you in South Carolina. Lindsay Ice Cream Cone at Disney World Graham will not be deposed. He'll go back to the United States Senate. He will continue to do the treacherous and traitorous things that he has been doing. He'll continue to be one of the biggest neocon warhawks that has ever lived. It was a great effort that was put forth by Paul Dans and Mark Lynch to try and mount a primary challenge and try to appeal to South Carolinians. But you know who votes in primaries? Who votes in primaries? Brain-dead zombies that sit in their easy chairs all day long and watch fake FAUX, fake Fox News. And so Graham coasts to victory here. This is a truly sad thing. You know, the state of South Carolina is pretty much near and dear to my heart because of its role in revolutionary America. There's too many stories to be told about that. I won't bore you with any of them right now. But look up why the South Carolina flag has a ginormous palm tree and a crescent moon on it. That's the logo of the state of South Carolina. Why is that? The Palmetto State. Well, if you look it up, and I'm not going to tell you because I want you to go and look it up, you'll be shocked and you'll be surprised. You'll go like, I didn't know that. Of course you didn't. They don't want you to know that. We're not going to teach you any actual history in these United States these days. You might learn something. You might go, hey, well, wait a minute. What? This might lead to a what if. And now the state of South Carolina basically has no representation in the U.S. Senate. Now, see, now, this is why. This is why, if this wretched union of ours is to continue as the hulking behemoth menace to the rest of Earth's humans that it is, and certainly to every human that is on this continent, you're going to have to get rid of, and I don't know how to do this, but you're going to have to get rid of the 17th Amendment. 17th Amendment allows people like Graham to be elected by stupid people. Not that people in the legislatures are that much smarter, but at least they kind of have to pretend that they have the state's interest at heart when they go back to selecting senators in the legislatures. This is simply, it is unacceptable for any longer for there to be popular elections of people to go to serve in the U.S. Senate. It was stupid at the time. Do you know how they pulled this off? How they hoodwinked the American people and the 34 legislatures, I think it was 34 at the time, that ratified the 17th Amendment. You know, they got away with this. They basically, and they worked on this for decades. They kept working inside of state legislatures. One of the primary ones was the legislature of Indiana. And they basically worked fastidiously to get crooked criminal people elected into the state house. They did this so that the criminal people, once they got in the state house, could accept patronage and bribes. Now, why did they do that? Well, they did that so that they could leak it to the press, and the press would go, aha, see, choosing senators, these people are crooked, because it was alleged, and I think that there actually was some of this going on, that people were being bribed in legislatures, like in Indiana, to choose senators based upon the preference of criminals. That's how that was the entire, or most of the thrust behind the 17th Amendment. They got away with it. I don't know that people are that much smarter today, and that if you told them how and why it happened, that they would reverse course. But that's why you had the popular election of U.S. senators. I just thought I'd pass that on. So crimes were committed is the point. Well, high crimes and misdemeanors are basically committed every day now in the U.S. Senate. So look at the end result and what it has produced. All right, we'll talk more about it as we get underway. Carmelo Anthony, the young man who was on trial for murder, was convicted. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? It was a month. It was yesterday. Okay. Jury comes back. Didn't have to deliberate long. He goes, yeah, we're convicting you of murdering. What's the kid's name?
Austin Metcalf.
A young man named Austin Metcalf, 17-year-old, whose life was tragically ended by Carmelo Anthony because Carmelo Anthony claimed that they had some sort of a disagreement, and the solution to the disagreement in Carmelo Anthony's mind was to take a 6-inch long jagged-edged blade and to sneak up on and ambush Austin Metcalf, and then to plunge the dagger into his chest. It got in between a pair of ribs and bam, right into Austin Metcalf's heart. And within 2 minutes, he's dead. He just bleeds out right there. His heart's permanently damaged. There's no way to fix it, and he bleeds out. This is unequivocally an act of despotic, demonic evil. And so, 2 years later, let's see, when the crime was committed in, it was 2020.
It was last year.
April of 2025. So finally, you get to court, and then the evidence is presented, and then the jury comes back, and it goes, Judge be like, guilty. And the hysterics that have followed. It is I don't want to say rewarding, because I didn't want George Floyd in the summer of love to happen. But it is somewhat of a relief, if you will, to see that the Black Lives Matter criminals, con artists, are not going to be able, they're not going to get away with another summer of love over Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony was not some shady or not some wallflower that just happened to be put in the wrong place at the wrong time and just had to defend himself from a 300-pound, we're told, gargantuan offensive lineman who was threatening him with his life and was crushing him. Not true. That is not what happened. So, but the protest outside, OMG, folks. We have all the stories and much more. Don't go away.
We don't know where DB Cooper or Cocaine Bear hid their money, but we do know there's a pound of gold in Mike Church's studio, and all you have to do to win is listen for the golden sound of the day. Weekday mornings at 6 a.m. on The Mike Church Show at MikeChurchShow.com and on YouTube at Real King Dude.
One of my favorite books is Jim Collins' Good to Great, and lots of people have benefited from reading it, including me. But few people have read his follow-up book, How the Mighty Fall. Now, over the course of the last 18 years, has been quite the feat of survival to avoid becoming one of the fallen, but survive we have. And guess what else survived? The world-famous Dude Number t-shirt, which began in 2007. Now, to kick off the relaunch of this elite membership club, we announced a brand new t-shirt design, a brand new certificate of authenticity, and access to numbers that have only recently become available. Here's Jim to tell you how to secure that Dude Number that's unique and special to you.
Just head to MikeChurch.com/dude for all things Dude Number, including purchasing your 2026 version of the world-famous Dude Number t-shirt. That's MikeChurch.com/dude and join America's morning show, The Mike Church Show, and the Red, White, and Dude Nation's elite membership club. That's MikeChurch.com/dude.
I think I'll go to sleep and dream about piles of gold getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Here's a piles and piles of gold fun fact. In 1971, if D.B. Cooper had jumped out of an airplane with $200,000 worth of gold instead of U.S. currency, he would have $25.4 million in gold bullion today. Now, we don't know where D.B. Cooper's money is, but we do know that Mike Church has 1 troy pound of gold in his safe and that he's going to give it away on July 2nd. And you don't have to jump out of an airplane to win it.
Win Mike Church's Pound of Gold. Tickets on sale now exclusively at winapoundofgold.com. DB Cooper and Cocaine Bear parachutes sold separately.
In 1983, ZZ Top made the song and it was true from the time that song came out till around 2010, when girls stopped going crazy over a sharp-dressed man because men stopped dressing sharply. Cargo shorts, flip-flops, and tank tops became all the rage for men's public casual wear, to say nothing of how they dressed for mass. Well, as my listeners and viewers know, there's hardly anything more important to me than being a sharp-dressed man. And to help you become one, I'm introducing the official necktie of the Mike Church Show, Proselytize, whose designs are not only striking, they're 100% Catholic. You will look fantastic and like a sharp-dressed Catholic man in your Proselytize neckties. Available now in the Mike Church Show haberdashery at shop.mikechurch.com. Shop for ties, caps, t-shirts, and much more in the Mike Church Show haberdashery at shop.mikechurch.com. Okay, let's go to the Dude Maker Gold Hotline. Caller number 8.
Yes.
Who is?
This is Aiden, sir. I hear that you're giving away free pizza.
I am giving away free gold that you can buy free pizza with.
That's wonderful. Can I bite into those?
Dude, you will have enough gold to buy free pizza for the entire state of South Dakota.
Yes, sir. I will do that.
Aiden, what would you do? Seriously, what would you do with that pound of gold?
Oh, I'd take a couple of them and pay down some debt, but the rest I would sit on it.
Aiden is winner number 2, day number 2. Yeah.
Woohoo!
You did the woohoo for me. Thank you. See that?
Thank you very much. God bless you guys.
All right, Aiden, thank you. So, folks, your chance to win my pound of gold coming up tomorrow, 6:45 a.m., 7:45 a.m. on the Eastern Time Zone. We'll see you tomorrow on the Mike Church Show, your home for the Win a Pound of Gold contest.
The great Edmund Burke once said, "The only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing." And for this hour of the Mike Church Show, doing nothing is not an option.
Bet you didn't know this. This guy was an altar server when he was a kid.
What have you done?
Baptized, confirmed, raised Catholic was William Idle.
Hey, little who's your Superman? Hey, little sister, who's the one you want? Hey, little sister, shotgun. It's a nice day to start again.
Mike Church Show here on the Ethics and Broadcasting Network on a Wisdom Wednesday. This portion of the program brought to you by our friends at mypillow.com/King Dude. For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com/King Dude. You know, I talk about this often and have for a long time that my pillow is not just pillows. It's pillowcases, it's pillow sheets, it's mattress toppers, it's little pads for Buckshot to lay on, which he's on right now, right below my feet. It is my slippers, it is my towels, and in the towels, I have the towels, the bath towels, you have the small hand towels, and the what do you call the one in between? What's that one called? Like a vanity towel?
And then a body towel.
Yeah, and the body towel. They have them in 12 different colors, and they even have an energy drink now. So if you go to mypillow.com, please use either my code at checkout or go to my URL for the latest deals, steals, and deals. It's mypillow.com/King Dude. Tell them I sent you. What kind of a country is this where a young black male just can't get away with murdering a white kid? I mean, come on. What kind of youths are we raising here? What kind of jurors are we raising here? Why did you convict him of that? Oh, all he did was plunge a dagger into the other kid's heart. I mean, what kind of a self-respecting country does not allow this sort of recreation to go on among black youths? You know, this is not going to be the summer of love. This is not going to be another George Floyd. I think that people that just happen to be white and people that just happen to be black and don't think that there's much difference between them and white people, I think that they are just reaching a boiling point with all this, and they don't want to do it anymore. And they're going like, wait a minute. And someone brought up, well, this is just like another Trayvon Martin. No. Carmelo Anthony was not wandering in a neighborhood at 2 o'clock in the morning in a place where he shouldn't have been. He was at high school on a track. He stalked someone, wielded a weapon, and didn't think anything of that other young man's life, and he murdered him. That's what he did. And he ought to pay for it. I think he should pay for it with his life, but they let him off. Now, anyone that wants to defend this is basically defending cannibalism. Not cannibalism, barbarism and anarchy. And if you want barbarism and anarchy, move to California. There's plenty of it. Here, I have another suggestion. Move to the main streets of Seattle. If you want to live in an anarchist socialist society, move to Seattle. See how much you like it. By the by, this fanning of the flames of racism doesn't only happen because there weren't any blacks on that jury, so blacks are incapable of hearing when an injustice is done and then wielding and meting out justice. Is that really is this where you want to be when Jesus comes back? So we'll play you some of the reaction here, but it's hysterical, and it makes you wonder, who is it that is raising these kids? Who is it that's raising these young people? You know, for the last 3 or 4 years, maybe in 5 years, I don't ever play the videos because I don't want to show the violence, but I talk about them. I have been talking about these gangs of young or middle teenagers to early 20-somethings, young black women who go in to retail establishments in cities, and they go in there in search of a white girl to beat up. Now, somebody's going to say, you don't know that. Oh, no, that's the motivation. That's why they're there. So whether it's going into a McDonald's restaurant and then picking a fight with a manager over something and then jumping over the counter and bashing people's heads in the fillet of fish fryer or whatever it is, or it's at a cell phone store where they pretty much do the same thing, and the gang up on the white girl who goes like, well, wait a minute now, I've been standing in line here for an hour. You just walked in. You can't just cut in front of me. What you talk about, white girl? I got privilege here. You ain't got no privilege up in here. And then the gang shows up, and then they throttle the white girl. And don't tell me this is like an isolated incident. It's not. It just isn't. Inner city blacks pick on Asian people as well. Go to the city of New Orleans. Come to my city right now. I challenge you. Go into a black neighborhood with an Asian person, with a Vietnamese person. Go ahead, go do it. I triple dare you. The blacks in New Orleans despise the Vietnamese, the Asians. And hey, point of parliamentary procedure. Why are the Vietnamese here? Anyone want to tackle that question? Maggie, do you know why the Vietnamese are here? The Vietnamese are here because of the Vietnam War. And because, basically, of the boat lift. That when the war ended and government of the United States was confronted with basically the aftermath of the war and the fact that if you left, I forget how many tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of Vietnamese, if you left them there at the hands of the remaining communists, and the Cambodians and the North Vietnamese, that they ultimately would be found without trials. They probably would either be imprisoned and starved to death, or they'd just be executed outright. And so what happened? Because we entered a war in Southeast Asia. Never get into a land war in Asia, says the Sicilian from The Princess Bride. Good advice. Lyndon Baines Johnson didn't take it. Maybe John F. Kennedy would have taken it. So that's why there are Vietnamese in New Orleans, because it was one of the cities that was chosen for relocation, basically, and for refugees. Now, please do not misunderstand. We have friends who were part of that boat lift when they were kids. We go to Mass with. I know them. So I'm just telling you why or how they got here, and it was not a natural sort of immigration where they decided to leave Vietnam and move to the United States. It was existential. They had to. But you walk around the streets of New Orleans as an Asian, you're in trouble because the blacks don't like the Vietnamese. And the Vietnamese came in, and because they're industrious kind of people, they didn't come in looking for handouts, most of them. And they went to work in places where the blacks used to have dominance. So you can understand a little bit of the friction here. But the claim is the jury got it wrong because they only had Asians and Hispanics and white people on it. And again, how do you get away with insulting an entire race under the guise of promoting it? It boggles the mind. So I want to bring this up in the case of Carmelo Anthony or any other. Let's tie this into another current event. Spencer Pratt is being told he can't even go to court. Now, this is the guy that was in firm control of second place in the race to be the next mayor of the city of demons, Los Diablos, last Tuesday night. Well, here it is Wednesday, 1 week later, and now all the supposed ballots have been counted, and now Spencer Pratt, who was in firm control, and it was mathematically not possible with the returns of last Tuesday for ramen noodles, for Natalia Ramen Noodle, to overtake him for second place, and so she conceded. Well, she had to unconcede because she forgot that Gavin Newsom and the Democrat Party in California, they should have sent her the memo last Tuesday. They're going, hey, stop conceding. We got this. You're not going to lose. Are you kidding? That guy is not going to be around. He's not going to be mayor. We're not going to let it happen. It took 6 days to find the votes to overturn the actual election day election. 6 days. They had to mine for votes. This is a piece at Substack. It's agentmax.substack.com. I follow this guy. He goes by the moniker Max Remington. Our Managed Democracy is the title. Only in a tyranny would political leaders not care whether such a large percentage of the population has doubts about the legitimacy of elections. Here are some stats for you. How long does it take to count the ballots in Brazil? Miniature plane! Brazil is the South American third world backwater country. What does it matter? Exactly. What do Brazilians have? Ooh, they're poor. They're dark-skinned. They live in the subtropics. They sweat. It's hot. It's nasty. They smell. Well, they can count 124 million ballots in 2 hours. How's that possible? I don't know. Maybe because they don't cheat? Maybe they don't cheat as much. How about that? Let's move across the globe, shall we? How long does it take to count 34 million ballots in the country of France? We have recent evidence of this, so it's not like you got to pull a rabbit out of a hat and go back in time. The Jeopardy question is, the Golden Truth Mike Church Show Jeopardy question is, how long does it take to count 34 million ballots in France? Your time starts now. Roger, best of luck. The Jeopardy question is, how long does it? All right, I'll end the drama. 4 hours. 4 hours. How long does it take to count 640 million ballots in India? 640 million ballots in India. 24 hours. How long does it take to count 51 million ballots in Germany? 8 hours. How long does it take to count 25 million ballots in Argentina? 6 hours. Okay, class. Red, White, and Dude Nation. How long does it take to count 10 million ballots in California? 37 days. Now, you give the first 6 examples just to show that, well, no, that's not how it works in the rest of the world. How long does it take to kick for Israel and the Republican Jewish Electoral Commission to kick Thomas Massey out of office? 1 hour and 45 minutes. That's all it took. The point being, this isn't an election. These aren't elections. It's a joke to call it an election. And again, I'm in Louisiana. You people are listening to whatever state that you're in league with these people in California. What they do there, because the state is so large and it's so corrupt and it's such a drain on the federal treasury, what they do in California affects you, has an effect on you. And there is simply no electoral way to rid it of the criminal element here. So then they're in breach of the contract of the union. Why can't we vote them off the island? And if we can't vote them off the island, why can't we form our own island? Is the point. You have an electoral class, a leadership class, whether it's religious, whether it's the bishops, who say nothing about this. Well, they'll go out there and bellyache and complain, Catholic bishops, about the injustice of not letting illegal alien criminal trespassers come into the United States to fleece, rape, rob, pillage, and destroy the legal citizen. Oh, they'll go to the end of the earth for that. They say peep about the system under which all of their faithful have to live which is just rife with corruption. What would happen if the American Association, the USCCB, were to take a stance against the corruption and criminal activity in our electoral politics? And to say that it's sinful, it is deceitful. We must take a stance against it. What would happen? Somebody asked me the other day, "What do you think about the Catholic vote here?" And I said, "Well, no one can be elected president without the Catholic vote. That's a mathematical fact. Imagine if the church actually told Catholics, if the bishops and then the priest under them actually used the pulpit and went like, I am telling you, you may not, under penalty, if you go out and start boasting and bragging about it, you will be in my office and we'll be talking excommunicado. You will not. You must not. And don't say that there's just no history of Catholic bishops. Pope Pius XI forbade the citizens of Italy to vote for the Sociodemocratica. What's that? The Socialist Party, the Democrat Socialist Party in Italy in 1945. So this evil just goes on, and it doesn't seem to affect anyone. You have the leadership class. I mean, President Trump, to his credit, still says they're rigged. The elections are rigged. You know, we got to play the Golden Truth Ticket soundbite of the day. All right, Maggie, get your spinner ready. Here is your. Let me make sure I got the right one. Here's your soundbite.
You don't know what this is, do you?
It's a pirate medallion.
This is Aztec gold. One of 882 identical pieces they delivered in a stone chest to Cortez himself. Blood money paid to stem the slaughter he wreaked upon him with his armies. But the greed of Cortez was insatiable. So the heathen gods placed upon the gold a terrible curse. And immortal that removes but a single piece from that stone chest shall be punished for eternity.
I hardly believe in ghost stories anymore, Captain Barbosa.
Aye. That's exactly what I thought when we were first told the tale. Buried on an island of the dead, what cannot be found, except for those who know where it is. Find it, we did. There'll be the chest. Inside be the gold.
All right, there's your Golden Truth Ticket soundbite of the day. Now Maggie will spin the wheel of fortune. I'm sorry, Vanna will spin the wheel of fortune. And
It's 7 again.
7 again. Is that wheel a Dominion voting machine wheel?
Yes.
It keeps yielding the same results. So when you hear that soundbite played back later on today, now look, there's been a little confusion here. So today, if you go to follow me on YouTube, you should go do it right now. YouTube.com/@RealKingDude. Subscribe to my channel. Every day you will get a notification when we post our daily video, Mike Church Show highlight reel of the day. Contained in that highlight reel is an Easter egg. It is in it. And by the way, Bob Kopka, I confirmed yesterday that the reel that you were watching was not Monday's. Because I confirmed that Monday's does have the Easter egg in it. Now, the video may be running a little bit behind, so Tuesdays may not be published yet. So I will take the correct answer from Monday's reel, and it is in there. I saw it for myself. I watched it. You can also watch that daily highlight reel at MikeChurch.com. There is a place there, and there's a menu item there for our video page. Or you can check your email today, because when the email goes out, there is a link to that playlist of the Mike Church Show daily highlight reel. If you're the correct caller, number 7 today, and you have the code, I'm going to give you 2 Golden Truth tickets. So yesterday, Aiden didn't have the code, so Aiden got 1. Bart Swar couldn't have got it because it wasn't out yet on Monday, so he got 1. So hopefully today's winner will be the first one that can double your Golden Truth tickets. That's $100. Tell me who of your heroic class of alleged broadcasting heroes on X is even giving you 10 cents. I give $100 a day away, and am happy to do it. Here, it's an old school radio contest, a Golden Truth ticket, but you don't have to wait to win because you can only win once. Go to winapoundofgold.com and get your Golden Truth tickets today. I would go and get 10 of them today. Is what I would. No, I'd go and get 20. Increase your chances to win $53,000 in gold. And thanks for playing the game. All right, what was I talking about? Tyranny. So Max Remington says, an important caveat: the integrity of elections in countries like Brazil and India are highly questionable. However, the integrity of elections in France and Germany most certainly aren't. Either way, California, to say nothing of the United States as a whole, is an outlier in terms of how long it takes to count ballots and declare a winner. Unless, again, the Israelis are running an election and they're trying to get rid of someone who has gone contra Zionist. In fact, it used to not take this long to do so. The issue came to a head close to a week later after being placed in third place beyond Democrat Mayor Karen Comey Bass and Republican reality television star Spencer Pratt. LA City Council member Nathia Ramen Noodles was rescued by a mass of mail-in ballots, pushing her ahead of Pratt and setting up a runoff in November between Bass and Ramen. Of course, Karen Bass is expected to win this, and then they have all the details here. Here is what has piqued the suspicion of many, specifically on the right, among Pratt voters. Mail-ins that arrived before Election Day. Bass, 38.1%. Pratt, 27.9%. Ramen Noodles, 20%. Mail-ins arriving after Election Day. Ramen Noodles, 37%, a 17% surge. Bass, 34.9%, and Pratt, 19%, a 9% drop. Well, how is that statistically possible? Well, the statisticians will tell you that it's not.
It isn't.
So then why is it allowed to persist? Why do people go, yeah, well, I said that's just the way it is. You know, there's a hard recount. No, they didn't. You must understand. On Tuesday night, the Democrat Party should have communicated to someone in the ramen noodle camp. Hey, what are you doing? Stop crying. We didn't want the homeless to stop. Believe me, you can go out and raise all the socialist money you want for the next 6 months. You are going to come in second. Look, we had to have today's fake election to find out how many votes we needed to manufacture to get you over the top. Gavin Newsom or Gavin Newsomabad told the ramen noodle camp on Tuesday night. Sure enough, 5 days later, Shazam!
Another heartache, though you say you're my friend, I'm at my wit's end. You say your love is bona fide, but that don't coincide with the things that you do. And when I ask you to the nights, you say you gotta be cruel to be kind, in the right measure. Cruel to be kind, that's a very good sign. Cruel to be kind means that I love you, baby. Gotta be cruel to be kind. Well, I do my best to understand, dear, but you still mystify. And I wanna know why I pick myself up off the ground. Have you knocked me back down? Or
The Crusade Channel. Talk radio the way it should be. Broadcasting live from Madisonville, Louisiana, and streaming 24/7 at crusadechannel.com. You know what makes radio horror and sci-fi dramas that much better? Listening to them in hi-fi. Yeah, the Crusade Channel sound is good, but it's not THX sound good. But you don't need it to be to enjoy over 800 episodes of the greatest sci-fi classics called Suspense. Catch 2 hours of suspense weekdays at 11:30 a.m. exclusively on the Crusade Channel.
Membership has its privileges.
American Express was right back in the 1970s. Membership has its privileges, and no membership privilege is greater to a Red, White, and Dude Nation listener than membership in the elite membership club that is the Dude Number. Here's Lee to tell you how to get yours.
That's right, King Dude. Membership does have its privileges. And when it comes to the Dude Number, applying for membership has never been easier. Just head to mikechurch.com/dude to start the membership process. Your unique and one-of-a-kind membership and all the privileges that come with it awaits you. As a member, you'll enjoy private chat groups, VIP privileges to all Mike Church show events, early access to new Dude-geared store items, and of course, your unique Dude Number.
Dude 1210 reporting all quiet on the Eastern Front.
This is Mike's favorite punching bag, Dude number 13.
Hi, this is Steve. My Dude Number is 2112.
Dude Number 2004, proud member of the Red, White, and Dude Nation reporting for duty.
Become a part of something bigger than any talk show there is and apply for your Dude Number today at mikechurch.com/dude.
Membership has its privileges.
I think I'll go to sleep and dream about piles of gold getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Here's a piles and piles of gold fun fact. In 1971, if D.B. Cooper had jumped out of an airplane with $200,000 worth of gold instead of U.S. currency, he would have $25.4 million in gold bullion today. Now, we don't know where D.B. Cooper's money is, but we do know that Mike Church has 1 troy pound of gold in his safe and that he's going to give it away on July 2nd. And you don't have to jump out of an airplane to win it.
Win Mike Church's Pound of Gold. Tickets on sale now exclusively at winapoundofgold.com. D.B. Cooper and Cocaine Bear parachutes sold separately.
Hi, folks. It's Mike Church, founder of Founding Father Films, asking you to learn the true stories of America's founding by purchasing my movie, The Road to Independence, the movie. The Road to Independence tells the exciting story of the Founding Fathers' struggle to declare independence.
Resolved, that it is the opinion of all that exploitation from the Confederate
Though not much progress has been made,
cease.
there is hope.
This
Dr.
is
Franklin
done to prevent
has
the
proposed a
army and
confederation of states, and I
of
believe young Mr. Wilson of
supplies
Philadelphia may be an ally as well.
we
Still, this Congress is...
This animated movie comes complete with collector's booklets, DTS surround sound, and are packed with hours of bonus features. Learn the true stories of America's founding and order Mike Church's The Road to Independence on DVD and CD. Available now at mikechurch.com/DVD and by calling 844-527-8723. Hey folks, Mike Church here. You know, when I was a little cheerins, I remember loving the old Dunkin' Donuts TV spot. You know, the one with the guy who got up at 3 a.m. mumbling to himself as he went out the door and then back in his front door.
Time to make the donut.
Well, fast forward 46 years and now I'm the guy waking up at 3 a.m. mumbling to myself as I go in the studio door, then back out. Time to make the radio. I made the radio. I made the radio. But I have a secret weapon the Dunkin' Donut dude didn't have. Mike Church's Capuchin Holy Roast coffee in whole bean or ground. Our fresh, aromatic, gourmet coffee is made from 100% fair trade beans, freshly imported, roasted by my friend Kyle and his daughter at the Abita Roasting Company, then delivered to you so
I was in the
fresh
chat room,
your kitchen will smell like a barista shop.
Taking control like a wolf.
Good. So, whenever you arise to take on the day and listen to the Mike Church Show, do it the Red, White, and Dude Nation way by brewing up a fresh pot of Capuchin Holy Roast or my all-new Capuchin Holy Roast New Orleans blend coffee and chicory at shop.mikechurch.com.
Do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. Because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at crazy low prices. They have access to great prices and discounts at over 500 different airlines, plus 300,000 hotels and rental car companies. Their prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find the best price for you. Call SmartFares today and get ready to see the world with a fat wallet.
800-313-7757. 800-313-7757. 800-313-7757. That's 800-313-7757.
Caller number 7. Who's this?
Hey, Mike, this is Bart Swar.
Bart Swar, the big winner today. Woohoo! Well, actually, Bart, it kind of stinks to be you because you can't compete for the second free ticket until tomorrow.
I know.
I'm sorry, man.
But I just wanted to make sure, I got, one of the RSTL and an E calls for the first week.
You are a 7-year-long veteran RSTLNNE winner, sir. So,
Yes, sir.
What are you going to do with all that?
Oh, I could use it, pay off some debts and whatnot.
Well, sounds
It'd
good.
Go a long way.
All right. You too can win a pound of gold free ticket. You just got to listen all day long or go to winniepoundofgold.com. Tune in tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. for the secret gold soundbite of the day. And we'll see you next time. Get your tickets at winniepoundofgold.com.
The Mike Church Show is presented for the exclusive use of the renegade outlaws known to the leftards as muscle car lovers.
In 1996, a crack USO unit was sent to Bosnia by President Bill Clinton, accompanied by Clinton's wife, Hillary Commando Clinton. Their plane promptly came under sniper fire, mortar fire, and atomic weapons. Led by Mrs. Clinton, they escaped into armored vehicles purchased from someone other than Halliburton. Today, Mrs. Clinton is still running the welfare state and surviving as a candidate for the presidency. If you have a phone that needs answering at 3 a.m., if no one else will stand up to Barry Obama, and if you can find her, maybe you can vote for the Hillary team.
I remember landing under sniper fire. When we were flying into Bosnia, we had to, part of the reason we were in the C-17 is because part of it is armored. I was moved up into the cockpit. Everyone else was told to sit on their bulletproof vests, you would call that. And we came in a evasive maneuver. There was no greeting ceremony, and we basically were told to run to our cars. Now that is what happened. I remember particularly a trip to Bosnia. I remember landing under sniper fire. The welcoming ceremony had to be moved inside because of sniper fire.
I remember landing under sniper fire. I remember landing under sniper fire. I remember landing under sniper fire. There was no greeting ceremony.
Now that is what happened.
If my boys out there in the coal-fired ramblers are listening, I want you guys to send me some Atomic. Send me a couple of tracks that I can play as bumper music so I can promote y'all's music. His Coal-Fired Ramblers Band, or Mike Church Show, Red, White, and Dude Nation listeners now. And we can play them in place of Debbie Harry. This portion of the program brought to you by our friends at Revelation Gold. It's revelationgold.com/King Dude, the sponsor of the 2026 Win a Pound of Gold raffle ticket competition. So I met the Revelation Gold people because they actually reached out to me. And one of the vice presidents actually wrote me a letter, and she goes, she introduced, she goes, this is not, what do they call it, form letter. This is not a form letter spam. I'm actually writing you because I watched some of your videos on YouTube, and I think you're a great fit for our company. And I said, oh, stranger, you strangely interest me. Tell me more. And after we talked for a little while, we set up a meeting. And then they presented their offer, which was fantastic. And it was great to be working with a company that has a website for us and carves a page out. So if you go to revelationgold.com/King Dude, then you will see that, okay, Mike is actually a part of the Revelation Gold team. Yep. They are the ones that will actually be shipping you the gold when one of you wins on July the 2nd. Now, how cool is that for people to go like, I still can't believe you're giving a pound of gold away. Nobody questioned Mr. Beast when he gave an island away. Why are you questioning me? I've been 35 years in this business using my name. I wouldn't do that if I was pulling a scam. I'd call myself DJ Dazzy Jeff or something stupid like that. So we have a great gold company to provide, and they can also sell you gold and silver and all precious metals. And look, they're big believers in, no, we want you to actually have the metal. We believe that you should actually have the metal. So shop with them today. If you're going to buy gold, give them a try. They also have gold IRAs, which I am very interested in and will probably be investing in very shortly. So revelationgold.com/ or it's revelationgoldgroup.com/ King Dude. Tell you what, I will get a MikeChurch.com URL, MikeChurch.com/gold to make it easy for you. But they're good people, and they were excited to be a part of the Gold and Truth ticket contest for this year. So a lot of you are buying metals. If you're not wedded to the person you're buying it from, give them the Revelation Gold Group a shot. RevelationGoldGroup.com/ King Dude. I'm reading this. There's so many pieces that I'm reading. I have so much on the plate and on the palette at one time. It's difficult to keep up. Remember 2 days ago I told you that we were going to. By the way, your spot price of oil today is. Let me give it to you. Make sure I get it right. If you go to oilprice.com. Ooh, hey, it's actually down $1. It's actually down $2 a barrel. Summer's looking up. $89.94. Of course, they'll come out later on today and they'll say something stupid and then it'll go back up to 95. So, remember we were talking 2 days ago about cannibals, cannibalism. Remember I told you that a civilization goes through digressions. Now, any civilization that has a government over it, and you have to have a government of some sort, that has a government over it that is not committed to the, as we say in Catholicism, the summum bonum, sum of all goods. What is the summum bonum? Salvation. I'm not breaking any news here. This is old stuff here, about 2,000 years. So any government has to be a good government, has to conform its policies to the summum bonum. It cannot pass laws and then enforce them that would hinder anyone's pursuit of a blessed eternity. Well, that's just not true here in these United States, because there are governments that actually go out of their way to try and send souls to hell. They're not legitimate. That is it is illicit. So remember I told you I was going to read you from Chesterton here on this. Now, we talked last segment about the elections in L.A. and in California. This is fraud. We should not be compelled to and should no longer have to be in union with them. What are you saying? Every time someone's a state, I'm saying that because there is literally criminal activity. So why? And hundreds of billions of dollars are at stake here. The government of California does not pursue and does not defend the good, true, and beautiful or the summum bonum. It pursues the exact opposite. And it does it with impunity. So Chesterton says that in the Everlasting Man book, which is a great book, we actually have it in the Founders Trading Post store. There's one copy out there in the bookstore. Go get it. Shop.mikechurch.com. In the accounts given us of many rude or savage races, we gather that the cult of demons often came after the cult of deities, and even after the cult of one single and supreme deity. It may be suspected that in almost all such places, the higher deity is felt to be too far off for appeal in certain petty matters, and men invoke the spirits because they are, in a more literal sense, familiar spirits. But with the idea of employing the demons who get things done, a new idea appears more worthy of the demons. It may indeed be truly described as the idea of being worthy of the demons, of making oneself fit for their fastidious and exacting society. Superstition of the lighter sort toys with the idea that some trifle, some small gesture, such as throwing the salt, may touch the hidden spring that works the mysterious machinery of the world. And there is, after all, something in the idea of such an open sesame. But with the appeal to lower spirits comes the horrible notion that the gesture must not only be very small, but very low. That it must be a monkey trick of an utterly ugly and unworthy sort. Sooner or later, a man deliberately sets himself to be the most disgusting thing he can think of. It is felt that the extreme of evil will extort a sort of attention or answer from the evil powers under the surface of the world. This is the meaning of most of the cannibalism in the world. For most, cannibalism is not a primitive or even a bestial habit. It is artificial and even artistic, a sort of art for art's sake. Men do not do it because they think it horrible, but on the contrary, because they think it horrible. Or because they do not think it horrible, but on the contrary, they do think it horrible. So, in other words, what I was telling you yesterday, they do it because it's wrong. They wish, in the most literal sense, to sup on horrors. This is why it is often found that rude races like the Australian natives are not cannibals, while much more refined and intelligent races like the New Zealand Maoris occasionally are. They are refined and intelligent enough to indulge sometimes in a self-conscious diabolism. But if we could understand their minds or even really understand their language, we should probably find that they were not acting as ignorant, that is, as innocent cannibals. So cannibals can be innocent? No. They are not doing it because they do not think it wrong, but precisely because they do think it's wrong. They are acting like a Parisian decadent at a black mass, but the black mass has to hide underground from the presence of the real mass. In other words, the demons have really been in hiding since the coming of Christ on earth. The cannibalism of the higher barbarians is in hiding from the civilization of the white man. But before Christendom, and especially outside Europe, this was not always so. In the ancient world, the demons often wandered abroad like dragons. They could be positively and publicly enthroned as gods. That's where we are. That's where the state of California is. That's where the government of the state of California is, where the government of the state of Illinois is, where the government of the state of Washington and Oregon, that's where the government of the state of New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, and all the other day of baby killing states are. That's where they are. They may not be eating the babies just yet. They'll come around to it. Now, I, again, have to ask the question, why is it that good Catholic and other denominations of Christian men and women should even desire to remain in league with these people? Well, we're here to convert them. Oh, forget that. Become a missionary then and consider them a foreign country and go convert them. You don't have to live next to them. I'm telling you, this is going to start sinking in. These people out there basically rioting and demanding that Carmelo Anthony be allowed to take his $1 million and walk free after the black kid stabbed the white kid intentionally right in the heart and killed him. What kind of a civilization? Who raised these people to think this? People sent the Anthony family money because he killed a white kid. Do not tell me anything different. They got, how much did they get, Maggie? It's $1 million, right? It's over $1 million. It's still coming in, isn't it? The Anthony family and that kid have been sent money because he killed a white kid. That's why I read you Chesterton. They are sending them money because they know it's wrong and they're okay with it. That's your takeaway. Mike Church Show here on the Ethics and Broadcasting Network on a Wisdom Wednesday. To the telephones at 844-527-8723. We travel now. Phil is first up here on the Mike Church Show on the Ethics and Broadcasting Network. Philip, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. Doing all right. It's your displaced Cajun brother here, truck driving through the People's Republic of Connecticut.
I'm sorry. Keep the windows rolled up and don't stop.
My question, because I've been thinking about it a lot since I heard the interview, you had a financial advisor or guru of some sort on, and he was talking about how he thought Trump was going to kind of tank the economy in order to peg the bond market to the gold standard in order to basically pay off the debt.
Andy Schechtman.
And while it's not the process he probably hoped he was going to do it by, would not all of this conflict and war in our current state and how much we're losing and declining in the globe be another means to accomplish that goal?
Well, I can tell you that the Promethean Access Group, they think that that's what's happening. Catherine Austin Fitz, she thinks that's what's happening. I'm sure Andy Schechtman probably still thinks that that's what's happening. And if you'll remember, Philip, Anthony said, or Andy said, that he thought that he was going to use the occasion of the 250th anniversary of America to pull the trigger on it. And he was going to...
Absolutely.
So it's coming up. It'll be a Saturday.
Everybody get your tickets.
This is why you should want to win a pound of gold.
July 4th is going to go through the roof.
This is why you should want to win a pound of gold. Now, look, I'm glad you called, Philip, and now I know who you are. Okay. You never... Are you from Cajun? Are you from Acadiana?
No, but I'm a Frenchie, so you called me a displaced Cajun.
Well, I
love that term.
You had the correct last name, and that's all we really care about. So, We asked, so I called yesterday, or I sent a message to Chris Payne, our winner last year. I said, bro, I need a favor. I said, Steve Cunningham on Sensus Fidelium is having a little bit of trouble convincing people that we actually give gold away and that we gave it away. Could you make me a little video, if you still have the gold, and just say that, yes, here, I am the winner. Here are the gold coins. Mike Church sent them to me, and you're going to have a chance to win 12 more just like it if you play the game. So, and about 30 minutes later, I got a video back. I got 2 videos from Chris and Philip. I told Maggie, I'm like, I say, and those videos, I made it into a little funny sketch. Chris doesn't even know it, but it'll come out later today, as soon as Mosier gets me the audio. I told Maggie, I said, I watched him like count those coins out in his hand. He still has all 12 of them, which means he got $36,000 worth of gold, 24 karat gold Liberty, Liberty. They're called the Liberty gold coins. Used to be a $20 gold piece. He got $36,000 worth today, Philip. He has if he went to a gold dealer, he'd get $53,000 in change for that. I think that's a pretty good prize to win, don't you?
Absolutely.
Now, about the market crash, I don't know. You do have a new Federal Reserve chairman there. The bond market is, at the highest it's been since Obama? Since the 2008 AIG, they're going to get a bailout out the crisis, right? So does the bond market, do the people that hold the bonds, do they do the unthinkable? Because I was told that anything north of 4.30% 30-year yield is like bankruptcy disaster for the U.S. Treasury. Isn't it like at 4.28 right now? I'm not sure what the daily rate is. The last time I looked at it, it was hovering like right at 4.3. So what does it take to spike it, to get it to go to 4.5 or 4 3/4 or whatever? And this is at the point then where it becomes that the Treasury and the Congress can't pay the interest on the debt. So then what do you do? Is a crash in order? I don't know. It could be. Here's the real question, though, Philip. Does it benefit Israel? Because if it doesn't, it's not going to happen.
Oh, I think Israel would love us to be in further decline and miserable.
Well, if it benefits Israel and the Likudists that are running it, well, then it could happen. So,
I think their biggest point is to try and get us so broken out of sorts that we have to withdraw from the Middle East completely once they have their strong enough foothold to manage it all themselves.
Well, Netanyahu did say in that interview that the U.S. was ultimately going to have to kick Israel to the curb. Right now, we're providing cover for him to not be arrested if he leaves the state of Israel, to not have his plane being escorted down by French
Super high-tech jet fighter.
forced to land at De Gaulle and then go face an international court on war crimes. So I don't know. I'm not sure how that benefits them. But I don't like the way this whole thing has played out. I'm sure you don't. So let me ask you, what did you pay for diesel? Now Philip is not driving an 18-wheeler. He's driving a big dually truck, but still.
An 18-wheeler.
Oh, you are driving an 18-wheeler now.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
So what'd you pay for diesel last time you had to fill up?
We're about $4.80. It was a little up over $5 at the high mark, so like $5.15, $5.20.
Okay.
I've seen it in Connecticut over $6, but there's a little local spot around the corner from my shop that isn't that drastic.
So $4.80. Okay, so that's probably that's $1.80 over where it was at the low water mark.
Yes.
Okay, so you were able to get it. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying the smaller spot I go to doesn't have the overhead of the big truck stops. So the average guy fueling up on the highway, they were up around like $6.15 to $6.50. at the high water mark.
Wow. Okay. Look, Philip, I'm glad you called. It's a great question, and let's both continue to try and answer it. But
Hope springs eternal, King Dude.
All right, buddy. Philip, thank you for the phone call. 844-527-8723. Who's next here on the Mike Church Show? Gold!
I think I'll go to sleep and dream about piles of gold getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Here's a piles and piles of gold fun fact. The first gold rush wasn't in California or in Alaska. It was in Dahlonega, Georgia in 1829 and lasted until the last gold mine closed around 1910. Now, some people say that there's still gold in them there Georgia hills. We don't know about that, but we do know that Mike Church has 1 troy pound of gold in his safe, and he's going to give it away to one of you on July 2nd.
Win Mike Church's Pound of Gold. Tickets on sale now exclusively at winapoundofgold.com. Vacation sold separately.
The Crusade Channel and the Slaves of the Immaculate Heart of Mary's Sisters present the Saint of the Day.
Hello, Crusaders. This is Sister Maria Filomena with your Saint of the Day. June 10th, Saint Margaret of Scotland, who died in the year 1093. This great and saintly princess and queen was the granddaughter of King Edmund Ironside of England. She was the wife of King Malcolm III of Scotland, whose father Duncan was murdered by the noted Macbeth. There never was a more royally holy woman, wife, and widow than St. Margaret. Of her 8 children, 2 of her sons became monks. One of her daughters became a queen, married Henry I of England, and because of her heroically holy life, was, like her mother, a saint. Her name is St. Matilda, and she is known in history as Good Queen Maud. St. Margaret of Scotland was a relative of St. Stephen of Hungary. She was only 43 years old when she died. She thanked God for the afflictions he sent her in her illnesses. She spent hours and hours in prayer and was always grateful to God for every gift she had received. Her beautiful grace after meals is known as St. Margaret's Blessing. St. Margaret is the patron saint of Scotland. Purified by grievous suffering which she bore with marvelous patience during an illness of 6 months, she resigned her soul into the hands of her Creator upon the 4th of the Ides of June. That is June 10th. At the moment of death, the bystanders saw her face, till then pale and worn with long sickness, flush again with a beauty to which it had become disused. After her death, she became illustrious on account of great signs and prodigies. By the authority of Pope Clement X, she was chosen patroness of Scotland, and she is honored most religiously throughout the whole world with the usual cultus. Saint Margaret of Scotland, pray for us. Thank you for joining us for this brief summary of the life of today's saint. Tomorrow's saint is Saint Barnabas. To access all of our Saint of the Day recordings as podcasts, head to crusadechannel.com/saints. You can learn more about our sisters and contribute to the building of our convent by visiting stphilomenaconvent.org. I'm Sister Maria Filomena, and until next time, God bless and Mary keep you.
One of my favorite books is Jim Collins' Good to Great, and lots of people have benefited from reading it, including me. But few people have read his follow-up book, How the Mighty Fall. Now, over the course of the last 18 years, has been quite the feat of survival to avoid becoming one of the fallen, but survive we have. And guess what else survived? The world-famous Dude Number t-shirt, which began in 2007. Now, to kick off the relaunch of this elite membership club, we announced a brand new t-shirt design, a brand new certificate of authenticity, and access to numbers that have only recently become available. Here's Jim to tell you how to secure that Dude Number that's unique and special to you.
Just head to mikechurch.com/dude for all things Dude Number, including purchasing your 2026 version of the world-famous Dude Number t-shirt. That's mikechurch.com/dude and join America's morning show, The Mike Church Show, and the Red, White, and Dude Nation's elite membership club. That's mikechurch.com/dude. We don't know where the Ark of the Covenant is, but we do know that Mike Church will give you a chance to win his pound of gold. And all you have to do is listen for the golden sound of the day, weekday mornings at 6 a.m. on the Mike Church Show at mikechurchshow.com and on YouTube at Real King Dude.
Hey,
Mrs. McGillicuddy, don't be a satellite radio snob and pass by the Mike Church Show. Come on in and browse.
May I help you?
Oh, no thanks. Just browsing.
How long do you intend to browse?
Well, that lady there. You didn't ask her how long she intends to browse. How come you're asking us how long we intend to browse?
You don't look like browsers.
Now that that's over,
How about a Fresca?
the Mike Church Show, entertaining browsers and fans since 1992 on the Veritas Radio Networks. Crusade.
$5 a gallon for gas. You say you want a gas solution. Well, you know, we don't want to ride a bike. You tell me that it's the pollution. My SUV makes greenhouse gases that I like.
Solar, wind, biofuels.
But when you pay $5 a gallon,
Biofuels.
we're gonna take some polar bears right
That's
out.
not good for polar bears that have actually drowned.
Won't you drill a war for me? All right,
We can't drill our way out of this problem.
drill right,
Solar, wind,
all night.
biofuels.
To investigate whether or not the Democratic Congress is manipulating prices.
You say you got a win solution. Well, you know, we don't wanna see your plan.
Wind, 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 wind.
You ask me for some conservation. Well, hell no.
Anti-American non-energy bill.
I leave my lights on 'cause I can.
Congress still has no energy plan except turn on these light bulbs.
But if you give money to people that hump tree bars,
Hey, Griswold,
they ain't gonna get us no oil from
where do you
Anwar.
think you're gonna put a tree that big?
Won't you drill a war for me?
Bend over and I'll show you.
All right. Drill right.
Wind,
Bend over and I'll show you.
wind,
All
wind,
night.
wind, wind.
There is no possible way for the United States of America to drill our way out of this crisis.
Because we have 68 million acres.
68 million acres of federal land. When they own 68 million acres,
Let them drill in the 68 million acres. More exploration, yes or no? 68 million acres ought to be explored.
You say there's 68 million acres. Well, we know they're old wells and they are dead.
Rather than looking for more, because like I said, dirty oil.
You liberals are a bunch of fakers. Well, we know
When there's a natural
we
deposit
got more oil than Mohammed.
than a trillion recoverable barrels of oil,
If you liberals don't shut up and let us make more gas, we'll take all your windmills and shove them right up your
68 million acres.
Don't you know we're gonna drill all night?
more than a trillion recoverable barrels.
Come on, Eileen. Come on, Eileen. Poor old Johnny Ray said it sat upon the radio. He wouldn't have been right in mono. Our mothers used to sing along. Who would blame them? You're grown, so grown. Now I must say more than ever. Come on, Eileen. Toora-loora, toora-loora, yeah. We can sing just like our fathers. Come on, Eileen. Oh, I swear what he means at this moment.
Of course, this is the ska band Save Ferris with a cover of Come On Eileen. '80s bumper music you'll hear here only on the Mike Church Show. The Oracle of Optimism, the Dauphine of Due Diligence here at your service. doing double duty today and serving as your online on-air professor for the study and defense of the U.S. Constitution here on the Mike Church Show. This portion of the program brought to you by the Dude Gear Store and Beast and Butt Rub, Chicken Mamu, and Acadiana Steak Seasoning, my trinity of seasonings. Now, for those of you that are new to the program, you don't know this. You don't know that we developed those rubs, that we competed for over a decade in professional barbecue competitions, and yes, we won some trophies. And we're well known as great guys to hang out with, and for our original takes on barbecue things, staples like pulled pork or a Boston butt, St. Louis style ribs, some of the concoctions that we made for appetizers and stuff, like we made these things called poblano poppers. And we actually got a third place in Hogs for the Cause for that. I'm telling you all this to tell you that in our kitchen, we developed those spices. I didn't buy those. This is not Walmart. This is not the Kinder Spice Company. I didn't go and buy someone else's recipe and slap my label on it. We actually developed those seasonings over years and years and years of competition. You get the benefit of it. And when you buy our seasonings, my rubs, I am not charging you for salt. I am a salt-ophobe when it comes to rubs. You want to put salt in it, you put it in there. I mean, there's enough in there that if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you don't have any salt, there's enough in there that you'll know that there's salt in there. But we believe in actually providing you with seasoning. So if you add your own salt after the fact, get the Trinity comes at a discount price. Don't forget the Cooking with the King Dude apron, and to shop in the Louisiana merch store while you're there. Grab yourself a cookbook, a Cajun cookbook, a Cajun cocktail book, and a roux spoon too. Shop.mikechurch.com. That's shop.mikechurch.com. Tell us that we sent you. We haven't done any digital media files here yet. Somebody sent this into our official Mike Church Show signal chat. Breaking! Darth Maul suffers a major blow in court after his defense attorney attempted to argue that Qui-Gon Jinn was responsible for his own stabbing and had essentially impaled himself on a lightsaber, prompting an audible gasp from jurors in the courtroom. He stabbed himself. Darth Maul is innocent, just like Carmelo Anthony is innocent. No, I'm pretty sure that he's guilty. I want to go back to what I was saying at the end of the last segment before I took Philip's call at 844-527-8723. The people that sent the Anthony family money did it because that boy killed a white kid. Now, you can try and frame this any other way that you want. That's why they sent him money. That's why they're still sending the Anthony family money. Now, people that can't distinguish right from wrong and do not seek justice for justice's sake cannot be good neighbors. They just can't be. So what in the wide, wide world of sports is going on out there when you have these people out there who are doing these protests and are out there, I can't believe this. What are we supposed to do? I don't think you have that clip because do you have the mother, or do I have to paraphrase? The woman who, yeah, you have it. Why? What are we supposed to do? Well, I can't train my boys now and tell them that they can't defend themselves. Defend themselves? Was there defense? Is this the digital media file number 5? Yeah, if we take up our side, we go jail. No, you don't. No. If you have suffered an injustice and you actually are taking up for yourself or defending yourself, no one's arguing about it. Hey, look, God said you have the right to self-defense. That's not me saying that. God said that. No, one can take that right away from you. Certainly not a court in the United States of America. Now, have there been injustices? Yes, there have. Is this one? No, it's not. So what are you supposed to do? Tell your sons to stop carrying knives to school. I believe that you're right, Maggie. I believe that he left school, went and got the knife, and then went back to school. So this is why he was guilty of first-degree murder. Here, play the clip.
Why do we have to care anymore? Why are we even here? To be honest, why are we here? What are we here for? Because if we take up for ourselves, we go to jail. If we don't, we die. So it's a catch-22 in this situation. What do you want us to do? What do you want us to do at this point? What? I'm lost for it. I don't know what to do. I got 5 boys. I don't know what. I ain't got nothing to tell them no more. You can't walk away no more.
Rest in peace, Trayvon Martin.
Let me ask you this. Right now, I hear the frustration.
This has nothing to do with Trayvon Martin, sir.
What just happened?
I'm angry and I'm hurt. I'm angry because you were in there, I was in there too. Those witnesses were lying on him.
As she says with her 2.5-inch long, $150 manicured nails. Such a horribly cruel world that you can't afford. What do they call them? Extension? No. What are these called?
They're called acrylics.
Acrylics. That you can't afford acrylics. By the way, that ain't cheap.
Those glasses ain't cheap.
The glasses that you have on are, it's such an indignant or horribly unfair world for blacks. You look like you're doing pretty good, ma'am.
As a woman, with that length of nails, I don't even understand how you can do any type of housework, any type of laundry, yard work, or personal hygiene things.
Personal hygiene things. You're not going to get me. I'm not touching that one with a pole.
You don't know what this is, do you?
It's a pirate medallion.
This is Aztec gold. One of 882 identical pieces they delivered in a stone chest to Cortez himself. Blood money paid to stem the slaughter he wreaked upon him with his armies. But the greed of Cortez was insatiable. So the heathen gods placed upon the gold a terrible curse. And immortal that removes but a single piece from that stone chest shall be punished for eternity.
I hardly believe in ghost stories anymore, Captain Barbosa.
Aye. That's exactly what I thought when we were first told the tale. Buried on an island of the dead, what cannot be found, except for those who know where it is. Find it, we did. There'll be the chest. Inside be the gold.
There be the chest, inside be the gold. Who wants to win some gold from me? 844-527-8723, 8445 Crusade. My buddy Bill Kaufman has an interesting piece. Of course, since it's Bill Kaufman, it is tongue-in-cheek and it's funny. So it is why America is still immune to the soccer virus. Because you know that the World Cup is going to begin. I guess it begins this week. And they didn't sell it out. Remember Trump going, we're going to have the World Cup's coming here. We're going to have the greatest World Cup ever. We're going to be the best host of the World Cup ever. It's going to be so amazing. They're going to have it right here, right down the street. They're going to have it. And the World Cup, the FIFA, is saying this is going to be the biggest, greatest, bestest World Cup ever. They can't give tickets away. They can't sell them. So people are going like, I don't want to go sit in a stadium on a Saturday afternoon in Mordor on the Potomac where it's 103 degrees in the shade and watch boring soccer matches. Kaufman says that the reason why America is just still immune to the soccer virus. The indifference of Americans to the World Cup will be ascribed to our provincialism and ignorance of the wider world, but in fact it owes more to good old-fashioned American stubbornness and the vestigial resistance to homogenization that produced, for instance, the popular rejection of the metric system. No doubt there are pockets of enthusiasm for the tournament. Dweebs in what my friend Jason Peters calls Silicon Valley are likely to be extra amorous with their AI girlfriends should the USA defeat Paraguay in the home team's opener. Also drinking deeply from the poisoned chalice of the World Cup is Trump, the man who would be king of Greenland and ruler of Cuba, who has weighed in on behalf of the favorite sport of the placeless class. This is football. There's no question about it. We have to come up with another name for the NFL. You ever heard of the NFL? It really doesn't make sense when you think about it, does it? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, does it? Doesn't. When you really think about it, the first play of every football game features an American foot whacking a ball. Literally, the first thing you do in a football game is foot on ball. All right, I'll come back to this. To the gold maker, Goldfinger. You know, I should have a song. We should get some music involved here, Goldfinger, and play the Goldfinger music when we go to the phones. Okay, Maggie, you said caller number 7. Caller number 7 is... Who is this?
This is dude number 1210.
Dude number 1210 is today's big winner. There you go. Hey, dude number.
Yes.
I'm not going to give you a woo. I'm going to give you a wahoo.
Alrighty. So I hear you got some Franklins for me. Is that right?
Well, can you... Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Franklin's. Could you tell me the Easter egg code word? Oh, yes, it is. Go! That's right. You got it. Franklin's is the code word. See? So it works. All right. So you get not one, but two tickets in one. This is like a juicy double mint bubblegum commercial.
Of course.
Now I know what you're going to do with the gold, so I'm not even going to ask. You're going to put it in. Okay, what are you going to do with it?
What am I going to do with it? Actually, I'm going to bury it under my greenhouse.
He's going to bury it under your greenhouse. You know what? It won't be worth any less if it's in the dirt than it is if it's in a safe.
That's right. Nobody's going to be able to find it.
That's right. It's an amazing thing that gold has increased in value. I think it's $1,745 the day I did the math from Inauguration Day. I want people to just ponder that for a second. Trump's supposed to come in and fix things. That's not fixing inflation and stuff, and that's not stabilizing currency or anything of the sort. $1,745 increase from January the 20th. And I didn't... go ahead.
No, as I say, that's almost 50%, isn't it?
Well,
100%.
No, because so 50% would be... Yeah, no, you're right. No, it's more than 50%. It's about a 60... I think I ran the number. I think it's 61% is the actual increase. That is a stunning number. I don't think anyone expected. And for a while there, Tracy, it was over $5,000.
Yep.
It peaked during the height of the Iran war. That's not a war. The not war. It peaked at just over 5,000. It's down now. It's come back down about $800. But still, hey, still a hell of a price. Congratulations, buddy. You got two tickets. Thank you very much for playing the Win a Pound of Gold Golden Truth Tickets Soundbite of the Day game.
All right. Thanks a lot, Mike.
All right, brother. So now everyone knows, because you now heard it during the body of the program. It's an old school radio giveaway contest. So it just happens to be running on YouBoob. Now, I'm wondering, what do we have to do to get one of you YouBoobers to win? Did you even try? That's $100 he just won. I just gave him $100. Name your YouBoob podcaster who gives you 35 cents. Not one. And we're giving away the chance to win 53 grand today. Go to winapoundofgold.com. Get your tickets. Now, Tracy's a guy, he's not satisfied with 2. He'll probably have 32 by the end of the contest because I know him. And he's also making an investment in the future of the Crusade Radio Guild, Sensus Fidelium, and Sensus Fidelium Press, and the Mike Church Show. So we both run nonprofits. We both try to do the Lord's work when through our nonprofits. Support us. We're not just asking you to throw money at us. We're giving you a chance to win something back. Look, you come in second, you get a pound of silver. You come in third, you get the rare bourbon basket kit. Hell, I might buy a ticket just so I can win it. Tell all your friends and family. Give them your affiliate link. Go buy a ticket, get your affiliate link. It'll be emailed to you, and give them that link. Do not send them to the site. Give them that link. Sell 10 tickets, and you get a free one. Sell 20 tickets, you get 2 free ones. So please play the game, and thank you very much. Winapoundofgold.com. Congratulations to Tracy. I think we're here because I'm going to talk about this. Play the Candace Owen clip. You might have enough time to squeeze it in. I just want to remind people, because people are going, "Oh, I know you're just taking Candace's material." I told you people 3 years ago that you should follow Father Joe's newsletter. What is Father Joe's newsletter's subtitle? Moving to Russia. He's an Eastern Orthodox priest who moved his family from Ohio to Russia, and he tells people why. Well, here's Candace Owens going like, maybe Father Joe's right.
I encourage literally every person in the world to visit Russia. Apply for a visa. You actually are allowed to do that, Dana. Go see the Kremlin Museum. You will be spiritually moved by Russia. Everything, and I mean everything, that we have been told about Russia is a lie. Okay? So when Tucker Carlson was going around
you heard
looking
this before?
At the grocery stores, that was not propaganda. That is real. Like I said, an entire Catholic family moved there from Iowa, and I asked them blankly, is this just in Moscow? They live an hour and a half outside. No. This is one of the most amazing things is how cheap the food is, how healthy the food is, that every place is like Whole Foods. They particularly pointed out the grocery stores, but I don't want you to take it from me. I don't want you to take it from Tucker Carlson. I want you to go for yourself. I want you to use your own eyes, and I want you to believe your own eyes. My takeaway from visiting Russia is that it is our society that is on the decline, not theirs. Russia, like I said, has not been communist in over 30 years. What about us? Pornography, welfarism, nonstop war, debt.
Okay, folks, we'll pick up on the other side of the timeout. Don't touch that proverbial dial.
In a world more and more infiltrated with fake news, AI-generated slop-ola, isn't it great knowing that Crusade Channel News is still researched, written, and performed by actual humans? Hey, what are you doing in here? Oh no. Get your hands off of me. You chipped my chip.
Boys, break it up. Jeez. Catch Crusade Channel News weekday mornings on the Crusade Channel. Live talk and podcast radio the way it should be.
No AI was harmed in the making of this radio content, but we hope to next time.
Hi, folks. It's Mike Church, founder of Founding Father Films, asking you to learn the true stories of America's founding by purchasing my movie, The Road to Independence, the movie. The Road to Independence tells the exciting story of the Founding Fathers' struggle to declare independence.
Richard Henry Lee rises to be recognized and begins to list what will become known as the Lee Resolutions, the actual first pronouncement of America's independence.
Resolved that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states. This animated movie comes complete with collector's booklets, DTS surround sound, and are packed with hours of bonus features. Learn the true stories of America's founding and order Mike Church's The Road to Independence on DVD and CD. Available now at mikechurch.com/DVD and by calling 844-527-8723.
You're listening to the Crusade Channel, a Black Hat Studios media property, broadcasting live 24/7 from Madisonville, Louisiana, and to the world via crusadechannel.com. We don't know where DB Cooper or Cocaine Bear hid their money, but we do know there's a pound of gold in Mike Church's studio, and all you have to do to win is listen for the golden sound of the day. Weekday mornings at 6 a.m. on The Mike Church Show at MikeChurchShow.com and on YouTube at Real King Dude. Mike Church Show News. News you can trust.
Because let's face it, the truth just sounds different, like a symphony of facts.
And now, here's Janet Huxley.
Hello, Red, White, and Dude Nation. Welcome to Wednesday, June the 10th, 2026. I'm Janet Huxley at the Mike Church Show News Desk, live from the ranch in Kansas City. This report is brought to you by the Gold Truth Ticket Sweepstakes. Get your Gold Fruit tickets today at winapoundofgold.com. Here's what to listen for this hour. Trump vows response after claiming Iran shot down U.S. helicopter over Strait of Hormuz. Trump-backed Hilton advances to California governor general election. Carmelo Anthony sentenced in track meet murder of teenager Austin Metcalf. Google seeks EPA approval to release millions of modified mosquitoes in California and Florida, and how to get enough vitamin B12. President Donald Trump announced Iran shot down a U.S. Apache helicopter over the Strait of Hormuz on Monday night, and he vows a response in a Tuesday post on Truth Social. U.S. officials tell Fox Iran used a drone to shoot down the aircraft. CENTCOM says the two pilots in the Apache were rescued by an autonomous underwater drone in a first-of-its-kind mission. Meanwhile, Israel issued evacuation orders to Lebanon's ancient city Tyre on Monday, citing Hezbollah violation of ceasefire. Evacuation included the Christian Quarter, an area previously left unbothered by Israeli strikes. Republican Steve Hilton has won one of two tickets to the November California gubernatorial election in the race to succeed term-limited Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom in steering the nation's most populous state in the world's fourth largest economy. Hilton is a one-time British political strategist turned American conservative commentator and former Fox News channel host who's backed by President Donald Trump and will advance to the general election, the Associated Press reported yesterday. A Collin County jury in Texas has sentenced Carmelo Anthony to 35 years in prison after he was found guilty of murder in the fatal stabbing of 17-year-old Memorial High School student Austin Metcalf during a high school track meet in Frisco, Texas. Anthony broke down in tears and was shaking as the verdict was read on Tuesday afternoon. He was immediately taken into custody. The case immediately moved into the sentencing phase, with Anthony's mother as the sole witness called to the stand to implore the judge to impose a lenient punishment. This was a case about justice, not race, some media outlets correctly reported. Our quote of the day: ignorance of Scripture is ignorance of Christ, St. Jerome. And coming up, a look at lifestyle headlines. You're listening to The Mike Church Show in the Red, White, and Dude Nation.
Membership has its privileges.
American Express was right back in the 1970s. Membership has its privileges, and no membership privilege is greater to a Red, White, and Dude Nation listener than membership in the elite membership club that is the Dude Number. Here's Lee to tell you how to get yours.
That's right, King Dude. Membership does have its privileges. And when it comes to the Dude Number, applying for membership has never been easier. Just head to mikechurch.com/dude to start the membership process. Your unique and one-of-a-kind membership and all the privileges that come with it awaits you. As a member, you'll enjoy private chat groups, VIP privileges to all Mike Church Show events, early access to new dude-geared store items, and of course, your unique dude number.
Dude 1210 reporting all quiet on the Eastern Front.
This is Mike's favorite punching bag, dude number 13.
Hi, this is Steve. My dude number is 2112.
Dude number 2004, proud member of the Red, White, and Dude Nation reporting for duty.
Become a part of something bigger than any talk show there is and apply for your dude number today at mikechurch.com/dude.
Membership has its privileges.
You can learn all about today's Saint of the Day in the Saint of the Day podcast, From the Slaves to the Immaculate Heart Sisters, by listening or downloading at crusadechannel.com/saint. Now a look at more lifestyle headlines. Google is seeking federal approval for a program called Debug that would release up to 32 million male mosquitoes in California and Florida to combat disease-carrying mosquitoes, according to a permit application published in the Federal Register on May the 1st. The EPA is reviewing the request for experimental use permit under Section 5 of the Federal Insecticide, Fungicide, and Rodenticide Act. The targeted species is one that carries yellow fever and chikungunya. Mosquitoes are considered the deadliest animal worldwide, according to the CDC. Malaria alone killed almost 600,000 people across 83 countries in 2023. And West Nile virus remains the leading mosquito-borne disease in the United States. B12 is one of the most critical nutrients the human body requires, and one it cannot produce on its own. Without adequate B12, red blood cell production breaks down, nerve function deteriorates, and cognitive health suffers in ways that can become permanent if ignored long enough. Yet most nutrition conversations still center on protein grams and calorie counts, while the micronutrient profile of what people eat gets glossed over entirely. Animal liver from lamb, veal, or beef delivers between 60 and 72.8 micrograms of B12 per serving, along with a dense array of vitamins and minerals that most people pay serious money to replicate in supplement form. Animal kidneys, oysters, mussels, crabs, sardines, trout, and salmon all surpass beef in B12 content as well, according to Natural News. I'm Janet Huxley for the Mike Church Show and the Red, White, and Dude Nation, because ethics in broadcasting matters.
I think I'll go to sleep and dream about piles of gold getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Here's a piles and piles of gold fun fact. When making Raiders, Spielberg chose the Golden Ark of the Covenant because he knew audiences wouldn't go, ooh, ah, if Nazis stole a parchment scroll containing a psalm. Now, we don't know where the lost Ark is, but we do know that Mike Church has 1 troy pound of gold in his safe, and that he's going to give it away on July 2nd, and you don't have to say, ooh, ah, to win it.
Win Mike Church's Pound of Gold. Tickets on sale now exclusively at winapoundofgold.com. Ark of the Covenant sold separately.
Caller number 7, who's this?
Hey, Mike, this is Bart Swar.
Bart Swar, the big winner today. Woohoo! Well, actually, Bart, it kind of stinks to be you because you can't compete for the second free ticket until tomorrow.
I know.
I'm sorry, man.
But I just wanted to make sure, I got, one of the RSTLNE calls for the first week.
You are a 7-year-long veteran RSTLNE winner, sir. So,
Yes, sir.
What are you going to do with all that?
Oh, I could use it, pay off some debts and whatnot.
Well, sounds good.
Go a long way.
All right. You too can win a pound of gold free ticket. You just got to listen all day long or go to winniepoundofgold.com. Tune in tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. for the secret gold soundbite of the day. And we'll see you next time. Get your tickets at winniepoundofgold.com.
You want your favorite talk show shaken.
Do you expect me to talk?
Not stirred.
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
The Mike Church Show Bar is serving mega martinis with non-DEI vermouth and a red, white, and Dude Nation olive. And it's always happy hour.
I wake up every morning, I stumble out of bed. another day ahead. It seems to last forever, and time goes slowly by. Two paper knees together, and the stars can fly. 'Cause the moment that he's with me, time can take a flight. The moment that he's with me, everything's alright. Nighttime is the right time, we make love. That is his and my time, we take off. My baby takes the morning train. He works from 9 till 5, and then he takes another home again to
Performing this show with 98.7% of my testosterone tied behind my back just to make it a fair fight twixt me and single, angry, ugly, killing baby's day of birth, aborting wacko cat ladies. This portion of the program is brought to you by Proselytize and the haberdashery, Mike Church Show haberdashery at shop.mikechurch.com. So we have the parquet tie and the fleur-de-lis that I wore yesterday. We have the Proselytize, the 16 Catholic saint ties. We have every style that they make at Proselytize and every color, and they are available. We have them in stock. Buy today, ship today. Got brand new boxes of cigars in yesterday as well. So cigars are fresh, coffee is fresh, seasoning is always fresh, and your Proselytize from Proselytize. You know, it's a little company started by a Catholic family outside of Houston, Texas, and they wanted to do something Catholic and stuff and become entrepreneurs. So they chose neckties. So with one shipping cost, you can combine your Beast and Butt Rub, for example, the books you're going to buy, and your Proselytize, or your purple Louisiana Purple and Gold fleur-de-lis tie, all in the same place. Shop.mikechurch.com. Don't forget the coffee. I keep forgetting to do the big push on the coffee. There's only 2 Mike Church Show Rainbow Trout style coffee, bourbon, vodka steins remaining for this batch. That's it. When they're gone, they're gone. Fill it up with Capuchin Holy Roast or Capuchin Holy Roast New Orleans Plain Coffee and Chicory. Our coffee is some of the best small batch in the world. And no, it is the best. And our price point is less than most people sell their gourmet small batch coffee at. So give it a try today. Pick yourself up a bag or 16 at shop.mikechurch.com. How much was left on the Kansas Owens clip? Okay, so we got most of it in. If you go to, because she was saying go to Russia. She was saying don't take in somebody else's word for it. Just go visit Russia and see it for yourself. I have been saying this since before the invasion, the alleged invasion of the Russians into Ukraine. So there are many of you that are new listeners or new viewers. You don't know me from Adam. You've never watched the show before. I'm going to say some things to you that you're going to go like, I've never heard anyone say that before, or that's not true. Okay, fine. Telephone's right there, 844-527-8723. Email's right there, iamkingdude@protonmail.com. The 5 southeasternmost republics of what is called the state of Ukraine, or the country of Ukraine today, are ancient Russian Federation republics. They speak Russian. They don't speak Ukrainian. There's your first sign. So if you don't know, it is Zaporizhzhia, it is Crimea, it is Mariupol, it is Luhansk, Donetsk, Sevastopol. So there's 5 of them right there. They have always been in the Russian Federation since like the 11th century. It was Joseph Stalin that formed the new country of Ukraine after he raped, robbed, and pillaged it and killed easily over 1 million Ukrainians from famine and starvation in 1936. As a matter of fact, they made a movie about it. It's called Mr. Jones. One of the Skarsgård Boys is in it. I think it's Alexander Skarsgård. Very good. Very disturbing movie. It's about a New York Times reporter that goes to Ukraine, he goes to Moscow to go see this whole new Soviet Union thing. And then he goes, as a side project, he goes, okay, they say you Soviets are starving the people of Ukraine. You're stealing the grain from them. You know, oh, no, comrade. No, we would never do that. Here, drink vodka. Here, partake of whore. We have lot of whore up in womb in brothel. They're all yours. Free. Don't cost nothing. But no, you not ask about Ukraine. So he finally goes and sneaks off, and he gets into Ukraine, and he's shocked by what he finds, which is dead bodies everywhere and kids eating their parents. But it was Stalin that rolled those 5 republics into Ukraine and just pronounced it, okay, Ukraine is going to be made up of this from now on. When Vladimir Putin decided after 8 years that he'd had enough of the Ukrainian bullies, NATO, and the United States basically saying that those republics were always going to remain in Ukraine and they couldn't govern themselves and they had to have Ukrainian elections and they needed to speak Ukrainian and stuff. And at the urging of the government of the Donbass, that region is called the Donbass, D-O-N-B-A-S, Donbass. Putin finally said, go liberate them. He did not invade. He liberated, which is why the line had to be fought for. There's a red line you see on fake Fox News that they all drool over because the evil Russians invaded. The evil Russians liberated. They had to drive the Ukrainian army out of those republics. And they finally did. That's what's still being fought over, is that border basically for the ancient region that is the Donbass. So when someone tells you that, they have their Ukrainian flag on their lapel pin or as their stupid social media avatar, and I know a lot of people, and they just, I guess, enjoy believing mistruths and lies and propaganda, American propaganda. So when Candace Owens says she goes to Russia and she comes back and he goes, go see it for yourself. You know, there's a listener or two in this listening audience right now. He may be listening right now. He's called the show before. Remember the dude that went to the World Cup in Moscow when they had the World Cup in Moscow? And went and he came back and he goes, I don't know what they're talking about. We had a blast at the World Cup. It was a great vacation. It was a great trip. So if you're interested in the subject to see if Candace Owens is correct, and I'm correct, I want you to go to Substack. Here is the address. Tell him I sent you. movingtorussia.substack.com. Now, some of you Catholics are going to go, oh, so you're here, now you're promoting schismatics. He's an Eastern Orthodox. Yep, I never said that he wasn't. He is Father Joe. He is an EO. I think he's Russian Orthodox now. A close cousin of Catholics. I didn't say he was a Catholic. But Father Joe has been in Russia, I forget for how many years. He left Iowa or Ohio and moved there. And if you go through his blog, through his Substack, and you could go back years, he has been writing about him and his family's life in Russia. And he has not been put on a train to nowhere so he can be taken to a gulag. As a matter of fact, look at some of the titles on Father Joe's blog. I read it all the time. Here, more on Russian healthcare. One of the most common questions I get is about Russian healthcare. Here's some more about it. And he says, what's the healthcare like in Russia? He says, generally excellent and cheap. I paid 16,000 rubles, that's $220 a month, or $220, for 6 months of health insurance, which is required of all immigrants. If you go to government clinics, which are generally good quality, doctors' visits are free. No copay, not a single kopeck, free.
0.0.
This came into play when I was having some intense health problems last year that doctors couldn't figure out. I had to go to 6 different doctors to find out what was wrong. I was mentally panicking as I totaled up the potential bill in my head for all these tests and doctor's visits. What was the bill? So he was thinking American, nothing. 0 rubles, all covered by health insurance. I'm not going to read the rest of the piece to you. You go read it. Here's what I would say to you. American neocon and left-hard propagandists have it in their interest to demonize the rest of Earth. There is no truck for promoting or saying that there's a good life to be had in Russia. As a matter of fact, Shuffle 14 asked me to review, and I'm going to have to stay up late. I guess tonight I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to finish watching Jack Ryan's Ghost War, which starts off very well. I'm about 45 minutes in. I keep falling asleep because I keep trying to watch it after a 15-hour workday here. Yes, we work that much here on the Mike Church Show and the Ethics of Broadcasting Network. Is Shaffa 13 in the chat room? So Shaffa 13, why don't you explain to everyone, since you've seen the whole movie, Maggie, you've seen it. Why does it look like the modern city of Abu Dhabi is like clean? You know, because the chase scenes in the beginning with Jack Ryan, and the rivers and what have you, that's I think it's Abu Dhabi. Why does it look like this is just a wonderful, magnificent metropolis? What's that?
It was main man Jeff that told you to watch it.
No, it was Schaefer too. There's more than one Jeff. You people fight over it. Of who told me to watch it? I had already watched the first hour. In any event, and I'm not telling you to move to Abu Dhabi, I'm simply pointing out that there are other places outside the United States. You know, we like to ballyhoo ourselves up. We're the greatest country in the history of great countries. Okay, if you want to think that, that's fine. And I think that at times that we are a great country. I'm not going to go out and say the greatest in the history of all great countries. But there are other countries out there that have indoor plumbing, skyscrapers, sidewalk cafes, river taxis, and other things that you might think are cool, is the point. Why wouldn't they have them in Russia? You know, Roger, our friend Eben Tranholm went to Russia. Remember Eben? And Eben said, she goes, now this is purely anecdotal. I went to a Russian Orthodox Mass. I was in the cathedral, and President Putin came in. Very, very modestly and humble. He didn't make a big scene. He took with his security detail, he took his seat all the way in the back. After Mass, she said, I saw him pray at a statue of the Blessed Virgin Mary. And she goes, and I stayed there for 2 weeks. I have no reason to believe that the Christian religious revival in Russia is not happening. Now she said, I'm not going to tell you that it's as, what did she say? As great or magnificent as it has been made out to be by some, but there is something there. And then she said, and I can tell you that that President Putin, at least he puts on a good show. Because somebody went in the chat room, that's all just for show. Okay, well, at least he took a knee on a kneeler in front of a statue of the BVM who is appearing to ask for her intercession, which you can hope. So is there something to this? Candace Owens is coming back. Tucker Carlson has already been. Others have been, as I said, to Russia. They don't come back. They don't talk about the brutal dictator regime that is Putin. Does it have problems? I'm sure it does. Did they lock down for COVID? Yes, they did. No one's perfect. You're not made for this place. If you want perfection, become a saint, go to heaven. Seriously. So I thought I would pass that on. Father Joe's blog, Move to Russia. Great resource if you want any more intel about it, because he's actually there. Yes, Cajun Mama is on the Dude Maker hotline here on Wisdom Wednesday.
Oh, I almost fell asleep. Sorry.
See, and then you come right out the gun and you have to complain.
Hello?
I'm here.
Okay. Look, the story I had when you were talking about healthcare
Mhm.
and you were talking about Candace Owens,
Mm-hmm.
she was telling a story yesterday about her security guy who was former Secret Service and former military who'd been having problems for like 3 years and kept trying to deal with the VA, and they were telling him he had PTSD and he had this and he had that. Well, he fell out in Russia, and they rushed him to the emergency room, and come to find out he had a brain bleed. So he almost died over there. He ended up having surgery, and they actually helped her to fly his wife over there to be with him, and it was just this big rigmarole where our VA system had been blowing this guy off for 3 years.
No, our VA would never do that.
Yeah, well, it's quite a story.
It is quite a story. You know that one of the most sought after weight loss clinics in the world is in Russia. So you have to get your visa approved if you want to go to it. And you know what their specialty is? And the Russians basically invented this, or were one of the countries that invented it. And it cures certain cancers. You'll walk out of there and you will not have them. 40-day water diet camps.
Nope. I've never heard of that.
Oh, yes. Go on YouBoob and put in the search box 40-day water diet. And you'll wind up at a beautiful mountain retreat somewhere in, I forget the mountain range in Russia, but somewhere in the Russian hinterlands. And the dude goes there because he didn't believe it. And he went there and he actually enrolled. And he said, when he made it to day number 7, he was like, okay, I think I can do this. You know who did a 40-day water fast? Kevin James. Kevin James just came off a 40-day water fast. He did it for his daughter, to try to bring his daughter into the Catholic Church, and for her sanctity. I forget what else he did, but who was it that was asking? Was it Joe Rogan, and went like, dude, what was it like? And he goes, well, after the first couple of days, and then he points to his belly and he goes, I had a lot to burn. He said, I had a pretty good reserve, so maybe it was different for me than for other people. In any event, so is Candace's a security guard? Is he back home? Is he still in Russia?
He's still in Russia.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah, so, if he'd have stayed here, he possibly could have fallen out here and died.
Yeah, okay, great story. That's fantastic, and thank you for calling. Let me ask you, before you go, did you see the story of the St. Charles Parish man that was running from the St. Charles Sheriff's Department, jumped into a bayou and got eaten by an alligator?
I did. I saw that story.
Dude, the St. Charles Sheriff's deputy is chasing this guy, and he goes head first into a bayou. He starts swimming, and then you see from his body cam, you see the gator, and you see him swimming across, and then all you hear is beep. You hear, oh my, somebody. And the sheriff's deputies are laughing, going like, well, dude, you jumped in a swamp. You jumped in a bayou, stupid.
For all of y'all, I live in St. Charles Parish.
You probably live near that bayou.
Probably.
It's probably over there where Papa's camp was. That's probably somewhere in the spillway, I would imagine.
I would think it could be right around where Papa's camp is. They got gators all over around here.
You get gators in your front yard on the right day, and it doesn't matter where you are. All right. Well, thanks for the Candace Owens story, sister. Thank you.
All righty.
Okay. Appreciate it. 844-527-8723, our call and line telephone number. Play digital media file number... All right, number 1. No, you're not going to have time. We're not going to have time. You already played that. You got time for Jasmine and Crockett. That's digital media file number 6, but you'd have to roll it like now.
And you do this to me every time.
Okay, go.
If a 300-pound man is beating me, like on top of me and beating me down, I'm not limited to fist. You know, I would argue that even the only time we go into things like people's hands being considered deadly weapons is typically like if they're a professional boxer or that kind of stuff. But I think by the time you start getting to like football player.
Football.
Good argument. Good freaking argument.
There's
We're not
a T in
talking
it.
about
Football.
like the golfers. We're talking about football players, right? Like this is what they are trained to do, is to inflict like serious physical contact. And it's my understanding.
Oops.
Oh man, June is so boring. I wonder if there's anything on the radio here.
On June 8th, the Mike Church Show will launch a broadcast contest unlike any other in history. And you'll see why June 2026 won't be just another June.
Hello, Red, White, and Dude Nation. I'm Janet Huxley at the Mike Church Show News Desk with your crucials for Wednesday, June the 10th, 2026. This report is brought to you by the Gold Truth Ticket Sweepstakes. Get your Gold Fruit tickets today at winapoundofgold.com. In the market report, the Dow was up a little, 0.17%. The S&P slipped 0.26%. NASDAQ was down as well, 0.97%. Today is National Black Cow Day. Do you know what that is? It's a delicious ice cream float beverage, also known as a root beer float. Frank J. Wisner of Cripple Creek, Colorado, receives the credit for inventing the black cow in August of 1893. He was the owner of the Cripple Creek Cow Mountain Gold Mining Company. It's also National Iced Tea Day and Frosted Cookie Day. It is National Herbs and Spices Day and Egg Roll Day. And it's also National Ballpoint Pen Day. Believe it or not, it wasn't until June the 10th of 1943 that the useful writing utensil had a patent filed. Our quote of the day: "Be extraordinary in ordinary things." St. Joseph Morello. You can learn all about today's Saint of the Day in the Saint of the Day podcast, From the Slaves to the Immaculate Heart Sisters, by listening or downloading at crusadechannel.com/saint. You're listening to the Mike Church Show in the Red, White, and Dude Nation.
Hi, folks. It's Mike Church, founder of Founding Father Films, asking you to learn the true stories of America's founding by purchasing my movie, The Spirit of 76. The Spirit of 76 details the true story of the writing and ratifying of the U.S. Constitution.
He is to be supported in extravagant magnificence, so that the whole of our property may be taken by this American government by laying what taxes they please, giving themselves what salaries they please, and suspending our laws at their pleasure.
This animated movie comes complete with collector's booklets, DTS surround sound, and is packed with hours of bonus features. Learn the true stories of America's founding and order Mike Church's The Spirit of 76 on a 2-DVD or 3-CD set. Available now at mikechurch.com/DVD and by calling 844-527-8723.
Some of the best things on earth come in threes.
That's right, Lee. There's the Three Stooges.
And then there's the Cajun cooking trinity of onions, bell peppers, and celery.
And of course, guys, there's the Holy Trinity.
Now, I'm not comparing my Trinity to the Holy Trinity, but I guarantee you, my Trinity of homemade small batch rubs can put a heavenly smile on your taste buds. And all three come with my 100% money-back guarantee. If you don't love and think that my Trinity of beast and butt rub, chicken mamu, and Acadiana steak seasoning aren't the best and most essential spices in your arsenal, I'll buy them back from you.
It may not be holy, King Dude, but that's the best spice and rub deal on this side of heaven.
Order Mike Church's set of Trinity rubs and save big at mikechurch.com/rub. That's one bottle each of beast and butt rub, chicken mamu lemon herb seasoning, and Acadiana steak seasoning for one low price and the King Dude's money back guarantee. Order today at mikechurch.com/rub.
I think I'll go to sleep and dream about piles of gold getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Here's a piles and piles of gold fun fact. The first gold rush wasn't in California or in Alaska. It was in Dahlonega, Georgia in 1829 and lasted until the last gold mine closed around 1910. Now, some people say that there's still gold in them there Georgia hills. We don't know about that, but we do know that Mike Church has 1 troy pound of gold in his safe, and he's going to give it away to one of you on July 2nd.
Win Mike Church's Pound of Gold. Tickets on sale now exclusively at winapoundofgold.com. Vacation sold separately.
Hey, Mrs. McGillicuddy, don't be a satellite radio snob and pass by the Mike Church Show. Come on in and browse.
May I help you?
Oh, no thanks, just browsing.
How long do you intend to browse?
Well, that lady there, you didn't ask her how long she intends to browse. How come you're asking us how long we intend to browse?
You don't look like browsers.
Now that that's over,
How about a Fresca?
the Mike Church Show, entertaining browsers and fans since 1992 on the Veritas Radio Networks. Crusade.
Doing daily combat against AI and the synthesis of all tyrannies. I am the Generalissimo of the Airborne 1776, leading combat on land, sea, and on air. Mike Church here with you. This portion of the program brought to you by the Golden Truth Ticket raffle / sweepstakes this year. Your chance to win my troy pound of gold. On July the 2nd, we are going to have a ginormous hopper filled with red raffle tickets. When we start the drawing, I'm going to reach in that joker or whoever, if we're out in public, somebody or a kid or whoever's going to reach in is going to pull one ticket out. We're going to stick it in an envelope, say that's the grand prize winner. Then we'll start drawing second, third, fourth, and whatever else that we have if you want to donate a prize. By the way, I forgot, we have to put the runner-up prize that Kaiser donated, $500 worth of ammo. I forgot all about that. You get a gift card. You just take the gift card. You go to the ammo shop online and you just buy whatever you want, but $500 of it is covered. A very generous donor to the Ethics and Broadcasting Network and Crusade Radio Guild has that. That's his contributions. That's a great runner-up prize. So you get the bourbon basket, the pound of silver. So it's a great contest. It's fun to play. You can win a ticket, and that's part of the fun. You can double your winning by watching today's Mike Church Show highlight reel video on my website at mikechurch.com or on my YouTube page. You should subscribe so you get notified. All of those of you that are listening right now, you're not subscribed. You want to know when that video comes out every day with the Easter egg in it? Subscribe. You'll get a notification. At Real King Dude, or the official Mike Church Show on YouTube. All right, what clip did I say I wanted you to play last segment? Okay, everyone has to hear this. Play the FLOTUS clip. Now, Steve Cunningham was bringing this up yesterday about Melania. He goes, all of you watched the horror, the aftermath of the horror at Immaculate Conception Church in August last year in Minneapolis, where this fake tranny wacko lunatic shooting through the window murdered 12 Catholics who were praying. And what was the FLOTUS response? Oh, we need to start a Bureau of Pre-Crime, basically. So Steve pointed this out, and he got crickets. He got Three Stooges snore from most Catholics. Melania's out. She's promoted, and she is a Catholic. Supposedly, she's promoted abortion. I don't think that we should limit what the woman could choose to do with her body. I think that you should stop talking publicly, is what I think. Now here she goes with AI. Oh, wait till you hear this.
It is wonderful to see this very impressive group of innovators at the White House today. I am proud that you represent the best of America. You are our future. Thank you.
Well, then we're in big
to
trouble.
Secretaries Wright and Rollins for being here today. Your support of this program is a key to its ongoing success. I also want to recognize everyone who took part in this first AI contest. Students, educators, parents, and administrators. Yes, you could applaud.
Yeah, let's give AI a seat at the White House table. Oh, come on in.
Today is about opening doors. When the doors open, passions
It's called a
grow,
Pandora's
courage
box, sweetheart.
blossoms, and dreams are realized. AI inspires. Use this chapter
No, it
of your
doesn't.
life to sail away with your dreams, to continue to build boldly, and importantly, to safeguard America's leading position in the world of technology. As you know, technology supports every business sector today. You saw AI's potential and created ideas that will shape America's future in many areas, including healthcare, nutrition, public safety, and beyond.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait, Magdalene Rose, for AI to be directing traffic outside of Benna's school.
Well, it's ridiculous. And Melania Trump has not been somebody you should be looking to for policy advice on any level. I mean, maybe she can talk about parenting. Barron seems pretty successful. No problem there. But this is the same thing the Trump administration has been doing for the last year or so, is they've been making it seem like we have to embrace AI or the whole country falls apart. And that's not true. And we all know that's not true, but they're trying to create that. So if you say that's not true, you look dated.
Well, the $17 trillion, Biden had won. I've got 17. Riley Gaines is fifth place. I won 87% of the counties. AI is here to stay. It's going to be great. No one's ever seen anything like it. No one's ever seen. You can say that again. They're going to have an IPO. Now it's not just going to be OpenAI. It's going to be, what's the other one that I saw? They're talking about, and of course, Starlink goes, the Starlink IPO is coming Friday, supposedly to make Elon a trillionaire. What is the Securities and Exchange Commission for, if it's not going to police this sort of stuff? Now, I'm not a fan of this sort of regulation, but I do think if you have fake banking, then you have to have real rules to regulate the fake bankers here. Where is there $1 trillion? Let me correct myself. Where is there $3 trillion laying around that people can just throw at three? Now, Starlink is the only one that has an actual business model. The other two, the OpenAI, and I forget what's the other big AI one, the one that
Claude.
Which one?
Claude.
Yeah, but what's the company?
Anthropic.
Yeah, no, it's not that. And anyway, there's two AIs, and then there's Starlink. So $3 trillion supposedly here. Where is there $3 trillion that is just laying around out there that's not been invested? And that people are going to invest in two business models that don't exist. One, that all it would take is a terrestrial-based system to replace what Starlink does. And that business model, I mean, there's no guarantee that you're going to need low Earth orbit satellites. By the way, a solar flare could take the whole damn thing out in one day. So this to me is just incredibly suspicious, if you will, when nobody's saying anything about it.
my family Starlink, and let me tell you, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. When you try to get it installed, first of all, they don't tell you it comes in 2 different packages. The amount of work it takes just to get an actual human being and not a fake human being that they're pretending is a human being on the phone is ridiculous. And like, it sounds little, but if you're saying that robots and all of this should control the whole world, perhaps make the customer service ones good enough to be able to deal with internet. And this is the thing nobody's talking about. Like, if you really live in a world controlled by robots, expect human frustration to reach a huge boiling point. And you know, when humans get frustrated, things get nasty.
Well, as you and I have talked about, and we're not breaking any news here. There's nothing new under the sun. One of the most is infuriating. It's when you call or you go to some company's website, and an AI chatbot is there, and you start talking like, "I don't want to talk to you." I'm going to tell you a quick story. I told this story about a month ago. I'm going to tell it again. So our little water company that we started with, our artesian well water company, Abita Springs Water Company, we started buying from them in 2004. And it was a little company. They had their own trucks and own drivers. We knew the drivers by name. We knew where the well was. I could actually go to the well, not buy it. I could just bring my own bottle and fill it up if I felt like driving there. For, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 years, we have Abita Springs Water. And then all of a sudden, one day we get a notice that this larger water company out of Kentwood, Louisiana, has bought Abita. So I don't have Abita water. And the first thing they did was what? On all successful takeovers by bad people, they killed Abita. They slaughtered it. It's gone. They just, Kentwood gobbled it. Okay, fine. Kentwood still employs local people. It's named after a county or parish here. So for the next 15 years, we have Kentwood water. And then about 5 years ago, or 6 years ago, during COVID, we were informed that Kentwood had been bought by a Japanese company. And that the Japanese, I'm like, what the hell does a Japanese company know about American water? About American artesian well water? So the first couple of years, it was okay, but you could tell there was a transition that was going on. The water stayed the same, but the customer service started to go to pot. Last year, the Japanese company announced that they had sold to another Japanese company, and no one in this company speaks English, not a one of them. So they take over, and it has been an absolute catastrophe. We have been cut off 3 times now. We have had to start, we're on our 4th account we have had to start to pay. It will take you 30 to 45 minutes just to get to a human being who will be, "Oh, hello, my name is Charles Smith. It is great to have customer service you with today. And who is name I'm speaking with? Nice to speak to you, Mrs. O'Connell Maggie. How are you today? How is the water supply?" You get connected with people who don't speak English. You know they're not Americans, and they cancel your account, and you have to reopen a new one. Then they have the audacity to say, "Well, you got to pay late fees." I paid the bill. You have my money. You put it in the wrong account. You told me to put it in this account. This can't, and I know this company because Billy Payne said the same company bought his water company in Davie, Florida. Magdalene, this is going on all over. There are companies that are just buying other companies, and people are going like, "Man, I can take a golden parachute. I'm going to sell out." And the people that come in fire most of the people who work there and turn it over to the machines. And the result is horror.
Well, it is horror, and that's the kind of reason why it was a nightmare to get Starlink. I mean, did not authorize. And then they say the same thing. Well, you're in process, so it's okay. But that doesn't mean anything. But in robot speak, I guess it does. And that's the difference. Robots have their own like corporate language that we're supposed to all know and understand and go by in real life. And so they said, well, you put your card down. We were like, yes, but the services didn't start. And the robot was like, well, but you put your card down. And this is the problem here. We've gone so far down that we used to be annoyed by like Indian service people. Now we are lucky to get a human just in a different country to assist us in America. And these are the kinds of things that the technocrats who are backing J.D. Vance and Donald Trump right now, they want to escalate it. They want to make it run the school system. Can you imagine?
No, no, I can't. And by the way, just as a contrast, if people are wondering, well, yeah, wait, what do you know about it? What do you do? Well, I've been in business, small business, and I've been an adult basically since the mid '80s. I've been in the communications radio small business since 2003. By my count, that's 23 years. We've made payrolls over 23 years. We paid our electric bills, and we have managed to survive. So I know a little, just a little. I know just a little bit about it. And I can tell you that we attempted for a while there to try and use technology to solve people's connection problems and connectivity and website issues and all that, and it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. You have to. The only way and the effective way to solve it is to just do it on the phone with a human being. And you know what? You get to meet somebody. And you get to say, "Oh, okay, Mr. What's Melissa's best friend's name?" I'm not going to say. Okay, all right, Mr. Jim. All right, Mr. Jim. How are you? Oh, okay. Well, let me check that out. The customer is happier. The service is better, and the business prospers as a result. I don't think these businesses are going to prosper because people are not happy. The service sucks. It absolutely is rancid. So the people in the United States now, the Trump administration is leading American business down the path of mechanization and robot control, which everyone knows who's had to suffer through it is not an improvement. It's a demotion. It's going in the wrong direction. You're going exactly in the wrong direction. Now, can you add a technology to something? I suppose that you can, but it's not. It's very. I'm not going to use the word frustrating. To me, it's a sellout. Those people think that they say they can raise the money. The criminal class will throw it in there. And that's all that really matters, Magdalene. It doesn't matter whether it works or not. It just matters whether or not they can IPO this thing and say this and say that and the other. And then, in 2 years when there is no AI model, those stocks and the people that buy in there, what if you're in a mutual fund and you're a little guy, you're a middle class, and your mutual fund decides it's going to invest 20% of its portfolio in AI? You now are going to lose. So this is an absolute hoodwinking of middle-class America, and we're the ones that are ultimately going to pay for it. And you know what? We're also the ones that are going to pay for it with the horrible customer service and inferior products.
Well, we are, and it is a special type of hell to not be able to speak to a human being for a company that you're paying. And yes, you're paying for a service, but you're also paying them. And this is the problem with Starlink, is that the robots don't care that you've paid because you put your card down and so the robots can do whatever they want. And it sounds ridiculous, but until you live it, it's really, it's not ridiculous. It's infuriating. And one of the things that the MAGA bros, all the MAGA influencer bros want to be like is, well, this is the future. We have to get on the bandwagon. There's no evidence of that. Nope. Now, I am no fan of Candace Owens whatsoever. But she went to Russia a couple days ago, and she was in Russia. And, I know it's probably propaganda, but a lot of influencers go to Russia, and they all say the same thing, and they take the same videos. And I just have to tell you, it looks like a clear. And I am beginning to wonder if that's maybe because they didn't go down this tech lunacy rabbit hole.
Well, as I was saying last segment, Father Joe has been in Russia for 6 years now, and he has a blog, Father Joe's Move to Russia blog on Substack. And he verifies pretty much everything Tucker Carlson or Candace Owens or anyone else has said about it. And he answers people questions. You have questions about what it's like in Russia? Here you go. I answer the question. No, I think that I don't think that Candace came back with propaganda. I watched the clip. I think she came back with a real world experience, and a real world experience now that cannot be matched here in the United States. And again, an inferior product that delivers inferior service, and then tells you that the inferior nature of it is a brighter, better future. If that's making America great again, well, all right, who's going to lead us to make America suck again?
Well, and that's a good point. And, I do not like Candace Owens as a human being. I think what she does to Erica Kirk is an abomination. But when I watched that, it wasn't like it was many clips, and she's gotten into it more in long form. It's the same things that they all say, like the subways have no crime. And, I'm not naive enough to think there's no gang or mafia crime in Russia.
Sure.
But there's a type of living that I think they're experiencing in Russia that's very clean, that's very put together. And it's not just Russia. It's other conservative countries. It's Japan. It's South Korea. It's these areas that seem to be doing well. And they're not going down this woke AI rabbit hole. They're not being ruled by technocrats. I think technocrats have become one of the biggest threats to the Republican Party because they're coming for Republicans. They want to usurp them.
Oh, yeah. So I can tell you, daughter number one just came back from a 10-day trip to Japan, and I asked her, I said, how was it? She goes, amazing. I'm like, did you leave the tourist areas? She goes, absolutely. We spent 8 of the 10 days outside of Tokyo. And she told me, she said, the people are wonderful. They're friendly. She said the food was, of course, amazing. She goes, it's clean. You can't believe how clean Japan is. She said the climate was great. They loved it. She absolutely loved it. I have daughter number 2 has a friend, Riley, who was a school teacher. And she kept trying to apply for, a white girl, kept trying to apply for jobs. And at the good schools that she wanted to teach at, she kept getting turned down. She finally realized she was being turned down because she was white. She was a white female and she was smart. So you know what she did? She found a group of Americans who were living in Japan who were hiring teachers. And she moved to Japan. And she came back and I talked to her. She goes, Mr. Mike, it was so, he goes, the only reason I came back here is because of family. That's the only reason. I would stay there for the rest of my life.
Yeah. And that's my problem here, is that we keep being told how wonderful it's all going, and it's not going wonderfully. And the conservative influencers who go to these countries, like Tucker was in Japan a while, I think last year, he was talking about it. There is an effort worldwide to not let your society be taken over by AI insanity. And even Mark Zuckerberg is the guy in the AI world who's like, let's like be slow, let's not go crazy, because he lives with like a real family and he has structure and he's not in the mountains of Tibet like Jack Dorsey. And I think there's a difference there of he has children he's responsible for daily. He's married, his family's involved. And that's the difference here. It's very easy for people with no personal responsibilities to be all in for AI because it will only make their lives easier, but it will also make their lives weirder.
Okay, so we have other stuff to talk about with Magdalene Rose, our political affairs contributor. By the way, yesterday Jacob Engels was charming, wonderful, funny. My producer over there, the greatest producer in history of radio producers, I had to keep muting my mic because she was laughing hysterical at his joke.
Okay.
No, he was funny. It was hilarious. No, he was very funny. It's a very good interview. And we had a great time hanging out. Let's talk about Graham Plattner. So apparently crazy women in Maine only care about one thing, murdering babies. So Plattner said, no, I'll be your vote for a day of abortion in the U.S. Senate. All right, you got my vote. So who came at it? Wasn't the Fox News zombie, brain-eating zombies that exist on this steady diet of Mark Levin and other neocon, soylent green food, who voted in that election? Left-tard, middle-aged, single, angry, ugly cat ladies. And they carried him. Now,
no, they did.
Are they going to carry him over Susan Collins? I don't know.
No, I don't think so. But, he's a really interesting character because in one breath, he will blame all of his bad decisions, bad behavior on PTSD from the war. Totally fair. And in the other breath, he'll say that he's well enough to be a senator. And he will say that there's no issue with him being a senator. And it's really peculiar because you're saying that bad decisions you made like 3 weeks ago are because of PTSD. But also, you should be trusted with the nation's secrets.
Right.
And I think it's it's like a very peculiar thing to be your strategy here. You're right. It is the white women who are carrying him forward. It's so twisted that they think he's their warrior.
Oh, yeah.
He's a horrible person. That video that his wife recorded, where she's walking through the woods, like teary-eyed, rambling, and I don't say that in a mean way towards her. Like, she looks like an abuse victim. It's crazy. It's a crazy video. I really invite people to really watch it, because she looks like somebody so beaten down. And his campaign refuses to acknowledge that he might have done anything wrong. They all just keep saying the same thing. The big war interventionists are responsible. Look, Lindsey Graham is responsible for lots of bad things. He's not responsible for his bad choices.
Well, Lindsey Graham also is going back to the U.S. Senate. So another Trump victory there. And again, now who threw that? Who voted in that election in South Carolina? I don't know what the turnout was, but it must have been low. Aged boomer FAUX fake Fox News watchers who have been simmering and steaming in a vat of neocon propaganda for however long they have been sitting there in their chairs, addicted to it. You know, they repeat all the lines. They say all Iranians bad, Israelis good, Ukrainians good, Russians bad. Everything is so nicely packaged and presented for them that it does one thing and it does it really well, Magdalene. And you know what it is? It does the thinking for them. They don't have to think. All they have to do is repeat. Internalize and repeat. No one that is addicted to that garbage, which I refuse to turn back on. I suffer through CNN every day, which isn't much better. But no one that is addicted to that garbage is thinking. It's an echo chamber. It's a very profitable one. Well, you're just jealous. Well, I can't say that I don't admire the business model or the way they've monetized it, but it is an echo chamber and it is a product. It's not news, y'all. It is a product. It is packaged and it looks kind of like news, but it is presented by the Barbie and Ken team. And you turn CNN and go like, can't they hire the beautiful people? Oh, they can make Kate Baldwin and all of them look like Dana Perino. Just hire the makeup artist and build the spray tan in the building. Well, for some reason, CNN doesn't do that. And it is quite the shock to the eyes. But that's who voted for Lindsey Graham. And Paul Dans and Mark Lynch probably started too late. And I don't know that if they did James Fishback style campaigning, guerrilla marketing campaigning, but just you got to get your voters out. So was the GOP?
Yeah.
Was the GOP there in any capacity for Lynch?
No, they weren't. But interestingly enough, they're also not there for anyone in California. One of my friends is on the Steve Hilton campaign, and she's been talking to me nonstop how frustrated she is because, much like South Carolina and other races, GOP is completely hands-off in California. So Steve Hilton had a Fox News show, has been incredibly loyal to the Fox News people, loves them, is friends with them, him and his wife. They abandoned him. Like, they won't cover anything for it. So they are completely checked out of Steve Hilton. And in the same breath, Spencer Pratt had requested, like, the RNC lawyers pretty much to come and help him understand, because he doesn't know. He truly doesn't know the vote counting process and getting the votes and everything. And the RNC blew him off. So the RNC will spend all this time primary massing, whether or not you agree, but they'll spend the time on it. But they won't send lawyers to Spencer Pratt, who's earned lawyers going to him, and they won't support Steve Hilton. And they won't support stopping Lindsey Graham. I mean, you know who actually stepped up in California, oddly enough, who's been there? Kevin McCarthy. He's been fundraising for Steve Hilton. He's been trying to help Spencer Pratt. Kevin McCarthy's been the MAGA warrior in California.
And, you know, I see Kevin McCarthy on CNN shows. I see him all the time.
Yeah, he's great. I see him too. And you know what? I found out from the Steve Hilton campaign, and she said to me, you know, Kevin McCarthy came in early on, and apparently Steve Hilton didn't really like him. He had not been a Kevin McCarthy fan. I remember that from their shows. But he said, but you're running a great campaign, and I'm a California Republican, and I want to win. And he brought in his own staffers. Like, Kevin McCarthy is the hero in the GOP politics in California, and he's probably not even really getting paid for it. Like, how crazy is that?
Well, let me say that in regards to Spencer Pratt, a horrible, grave injustice has been done here, and everyone knows it. Everyone knows that they were dropping pallets of mail-in ballots in, and they were demonstrably in favor of ramen noodles.
Yeah. Everyone, and he asked for help. And he said, like, I don't know how to do this. And which is, like, if there's a candidate in America who doesn't know how to do it, it's Spencer Pratt. And the RNC was pretty much like, we don't want to be seen to be doing another vote counting battle. So when Donald Trump says all this SAVE Act and all this stuff, I think a lot of it's nonsense, because honestly, if Spencer Pratt couldn't get support, who can?
Well, I just wonder. There has to be somebody out there that's going to at least intervene here, because there has to be a court challenge, even if it fails. There has to be a court challenge. This cannot stand. It can't be allowed to just stand.
And
you have to challenge it.
He's asking for help. Yeah, he's asking for help. Like, Spencer Pratt's not the candidate not asking for help, but he does. But this is the problem here. He doesn't know how to do this. He doesn't have the political lawyers. So, you know who's trying to fill that gap? Kevin McCarthy. Kevin McCarthy's trying to find those people. The day we threw Kevin McCarthy out of Congress, it's like a dark stain on Republican, like, history. We've been paying for it ever since.
It is a kind of a data point now, isn't it? That the GOP has now been, for what, going on year number, coming up on the second year of Mike Johnson having being Speaker of the House. No, he has been for 2 years.
No, and John Thune. I mean, John Thune does nothing all day long and continues to be praised for it. I don't understand this. Thune is. I mean, he's remarkably holding us back.
Well, here's the thing about Mike Johnson. So let's finish the thought. He's a yes man to his president. Okay, I understand that. I know I've been at this for 35 years. I know how party politics works. I get it. I don't like it, but I get it. I understand it. It is one thing to be the president's guy in the House of Representatives and get things done. It's another thing to be his doormat, and he's his doormat.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Secondly, Mike Johnson is on the wrong side of almost every important issue facing the American people. He's on the wrong side of foreign policy. He's on the wrong side of Russia versus Ukraine. He's on the wrong side of Israel and Zionism. He's on the wrong side of, I think he's on the wrong side of China, Taiwan. I think he's on the wrong side of Venezuela. He's on the wrong side of almost everything, especially if it's not happening here domestically. And consequently, the things that do matter domestically don't seem to get done. Now, they were all boasting and bragging yesterday that they finally got this act through, that they're going to fund they're going to fund ICE and INS. Okay, yay, golf clap. Yeah, you did your job. You were supposed to do that. Why did it take so long? Well, where are you going to get the money? Under your gavelship, Mr. Speaker. The budget has, under your gavelship, you spend the money. Article 1, Section 8, all bills for originating revenue began in the House of Representatives. The Senate can concur and with amendments. That's what it says. Under your gavelship, federal spending has grown $3 trillion, and you're asking for more. And I'm supposed to say you're supposed to be a fiscal conservative, and I'm supposed to support this? Look. Maggie, can you hand me my new voter? Well, don't because I haven't. We'd have to mux out the address. The address is on there. I received a wonderful gift in the mail on Monday, Magdalene. You know what it was? It was my receipt from the Louisiana Secretary of State office confirming that I am now a non-party affiliated registered voter. The Republican Party can screw itself. Screw you! I gave you 35 years and 35 chances. You're not getting any more. Burn me once, call me stupid. Burn me twice, call you stupid. Or burn me twice, call me stupid. I got burned 35 times. 3 times by Trump now. Not going to do it any longer. I refuse. I will not lend my voice. What is this? Yeah, they're fully funding the $70 billion immigration bill. Okay, yeah, great. Yay, hoop-de-doo. The Republican Party and the Democrat Party, the only thing it's going to say to the Republican Party this fall is that the Democrat Party is worse. It's more stupid, if that's even possible. But the Republican Party under Johnson, who is the leader outside of Trump, has gone in the wrong direction. And it's almost like they intend to do it. And they're kind of like enjoying it. So I don't know how the fundraising is going to go. I don't know if the threat of Democrats taking over is enough to get people to go, out and to go vote for Republicans this fall. I think that there's a burnout factor here, unlike anything I've ever seen in my 35 years. And I don't think, look, it only takes like 10% of the people to realize, okay, we've been conned and I won't participate anymore, to just paradigm shift the dynamics. I think we're there. You're not seeing it in the political class because they don't have their ear to the ground. They're not listening to us. But out here where the rubber meets the road, Larry, out here where people are talking to one another, oh yeah, there has been a sea change. I don't know. Is it large enough to say that it's a revolution? I don't know. Maybe there's a revolutionary event that's coming our way that might push us over the top. But you're not in Kansas anymore, I guess is the cliche that we could add to this.
No, you're not. You're not there anymore. And Speaker Johnson is someone who I think personally is probably a very good person. I think personally he's a very ethical person.
Sure.
He practices what he preaches, but he's an ineffective Speaker of the House. Like, he's ineffective. And Johnson is ineffective. You know, every now and then I see a snarky interview from Rick Scott, and I love them because he stands there and he's like, yeah, it's still not going well. If only we'd made other choices. Like, he is the most snarky man I've ever seen in the United States Senate. I love it. We should fire Johnson today. We should make Rick Scott Senate Majority Leader, and we should beg Kevin McCarthy to run the RNC. You know, Kevin McCarthy is one of those guys where Matt Gaetz made us all believe he was like some evil overlord, and then Matt Gaetz pulled out of being AG because he was concerned about his own future, and now hosts a low-level show on One American News where, I'm sorry, he looks orange all the time, no matter what type of makeup he has on. And so we lost, like, it's not even me. I was looking at a clip of it recently, and I thought to myself, oh my, he really does look orange. Like, he's years into this now. Why does he still look orange? And we sit here without Kevin McCarthy. And Kevin McCarthy's all up in California trying to help. And, like, Steve Hilton's like, without Kevin McCarthy, I don't know what I'd do. Well, I don't know what we're doing without Kevin McCarthy. Can you imagine if he was the Speaker of the House right now? Heads would be rolling. Things would be being done. Donald Trump wouldn't even have to ask. Kevin McCarthy would just do it.
Well, Kevin McCarthy has something that Mike Johnson doesn't have, and that he's a killer. He has shark killer instinct.
Yeah.
He doesn't
because
he doesn't care. Because Kevin McCarthy, at the end of the day, this is maybe a thinly or not very well guarded secret. Kevin McCarthy is roommates with Frank Luntz, the pollster.
Oh yeah. He's brutal.
He's very well connected in what survives of Republican Party politics, especially in California. He's extraordinary. He's extremely smart. And you know what? He was kind of naive, though. He didn't see Gates coming with the Brutus dagger.
No. It's so sad. I miss him so much. I'm just like, it's so hard because we had a brilliant killer in Congress. And you know, Matt Gaetz not particularly competent in a lot of areas, but Matt Gaetz is competent in keeping his own ethics reports buried, which then came out anyway. So, like, what was it all for?
Well, Magdalene, I think at the end of the day, and we were Matt Gaetz supporters, and thought that Matt was right and McCarthy needed to go. And again, it's one of the mistakes I have made in analyzing some of what Trump has done. But if you look at Matt Gaetz, what is he? He's just another one of these influencers.
Yeah. Oh,
He's
yeah.
all talk.
Yeah.
He sounds great on the talk show. He's great when he's in there with Steve Bannon or whoever. And, he's threatening to do this or threatening to do that. And he's giving a floor speech or whatever. But in actually getting things done, not so much. And then, of course, as you say, when the going got tough, he got going. He left.
Yeah.
He bailed. Nope, not taking me down with it. I'm not going to do it. I won't do
I
it.
found out what his speaking fee is recently. What Matt Gaetz' speaking fee is?
Let me guess.
32. Sorry.
I was going to guess 20.
$32,000.
I was going to guess 20.
No, $32,000. Plus, he's going to have travel expenses covered. So can you imagine, as like a human being in media, writing a check for $32,000 from Matt Gaetz to speak to you?
Yes.
Like, wouldn't it kill your soul a little bit?
Especially knowing you could get Mike Church for $3,200.
Yes.
Hell, I'll do it for $320. If you catch me on the right day, I might do it for $32.
Let's not go crazy.
Plus expensive. No, seriously. It again. It's the game of it is the game of the grift and the influencer, and it is going to come. It's not going to. It's coming to an end. There's a new paradigm coming. Not sure what it is. Now we are fighting for it. Obviously, why don't we just try it the way we kind of used to do it? And then if you want to add new technology to it, okay, that's fine. But why don't we actually have a merit-based system where you actually, you have to like put skins on the wall and actually demonstrate that you're competent and that you do due diligence and you do things like make real good friends and you're actually not a snake and you're not a pit viper. You're actually kind of loyal, especially when it comes to being loyal to things like the faith. And then this is why, again, probably why I am so enamored with and attracted to James Fishback is I very much appreciate the fact that he wears now it took him a couple of months and he was feeling his way, but I'm very inspired and thankful that James is out there wearing his Catholicism on his sleeve. And I think that this is a great example for a lot of young people going like, hey, you mean you can actually be Catholic and talk about all Catholic stuff? And people will still show up at your rallies? Hell yes!
Yeah. Well, James Fishback is doing a thing called running for governor aggressively.
Yes!
We're unaccustomed to it because we just do with these MAGA coronations. And, if we were really going off merit, does anyone think Byron Donaldson would even be in contention?
Nope.
No, it's ridiculous. He would not be in contention.
So, a very interesting week here in politics. So the primaries are pretty much over. Then there's a couple of them twixt now and August. The next big one is Florida's. So It's in August. I know that. There will be some debates, and Byron Donalds can't just not show up at all of them and expect that Republicans are going to, especially if there's turnout. Now, if Fishback has like Jacob said yesterday on the Mike Church show, Jacob Engels, he goes, look, he's got the campaigning thing. It's just natural. It's just he has this, the charisma. He has the whole thing. Does he have the ground game, as they call it? If I'm James Fishback, as much as they probably disagree with the personal social life of Scott Presler, I'm still going to call Scott Presler and say, Scott, you want a job? Yeah. Come to Florida. Come to work for me. Name your price. Come to Florida. Come work for my campaign. And if that happens, Magdalene, oh my Lord, it's going to rain bullets in MAGA purgatory because if Presler were to side and to say, you don't have to get Presler. Let's say you couldn't get Presler. What if you could just get Reince? What if you get Peel, Reince, Priebus? You talk about that is an earthquake. That is a 10.2 on the political Richter scale. If Fishback is able to peel off, if he were still alive, he would do it because he loved being a rebel. Ed Rollins. If Ed Rollins were still alive, Ed Rollins would be in Florida right now going, hey, man, I'll do it. And you know what? Ed Rollins would throw Fishback into an entire new groove when it comes to getting out the votes and campaigning. So is there anyone besides that I didn't mention that you know of? Is there anyone besides Presser or Priebus that could do this?
Nope, just them and Kevin McCarthy, I think. They're the only ones.
Well, you know what? McCarthy has no love for the leadership of the GOP. Why wouldn't McCarthy do it?
Yeah, why wouldn't he? I mean, I really just think that that's the kind of thing that could change everything. I do have to go because I think the baby's getting up.
Okay.
But I think that they are the ones who could change it, especially that grouping together.
All right, Magdalene, thank you very much. Magdalene Rose, our political affairs contributor here on the Dude Maker hotline here with us. Imagine that. You know, I was thinking about and you can tell, how do you know about Ed Rollins? Oh, dude, I've been at this forever. Literally. And if you don't know who Ed Rollins was, he was, well, first of all, he's a very affable, funny kind of guy. He was a Republican pollster, and he ran, I want to say that Ed probably ran Dole's campaign, or he was high up in Dole's campaign. And Ed Rollins was just kind of the type. I tell you, I remember one of the campaigns he ran when Mike Huckabee won Iowa in 2008, I think, he hired Ed Rollins. But Huckabee was an awful, 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 terrible candidate. Just awful. And that's what Ed had to work with. But someone like an Ed Rollins out there, if they are out there running the Fishback campaign, all right. It'd be a great thing. Today is the feast day, and you can catch the podcast. I just want to get the message out to our audience and new listeners and viewers. If you hear the saint of the day during the Mike Church show from Sister Philomena this month, and from the Slaves to the Immaculate Heart, you're only hearing the edited version that fits in the time slot that we have available. For example, today, Margaret, Queen of the Scots, St. Margaret, Queen of the Scots, the on-air version comes and clocks in at about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. The actual whole podcast that we edited and is on crusadechannel.com /saint is about 6, a little over 6:20 or something like that. So when you hear the broadcast version, there's a very good chance that if you go to crusadechannel.com and just tap that follow button on the Sermon Sunday podcast, because that's what it is uploaded to. The podcast versions, the long versions on the site are almost always longer than the version that we broadcast. Just thought I'd pass that on. And the story today of Margaret, Queen of Scots, was I was listening to it going, and I know a little bit about her. I was listening to it going like, what? I didn't know that. So a very detailed and very well told by Sister Maria Philomena, Saint of the Day. Get the podcast today at as I said, at crusadechannel.com. Another note, winapoundofgold.com. If you have bought a ticket, your account from last year was honored. So you were able to log in. And I know a lot of you did log in, so congratulations. For those of you that because there's a couple of dozen people just this week in the first 3 days who have bought tickets and are new affiliates. Use your affiliates. Go to winapoundofgold.com, click on the affiliate tab at the top, and then when you're on that landing page, it'll give you your URL. You can even customize it if you want. If you have a nickname that you want your URL, say your nickname is Donkey. I'm thinking of Mike Myers and Eddie Murphy and Shrek. Really, Donkey? Can't you just be quiet for 5 minutes, Donkey? So your nickname is Donkey. You can actually put Donkey in your custom URL at winapoundofgold.com. Then if you click on the tab that says Creatives, there are 24 images we have pre-made for you that you can use in your social media. Some show families, some show single people, some show young couples, some are just text. But they all look really nice, and all you got to do is just right-click on them, download them to your desktop, or copy them, and then share them out with your link, and that's how you sell tickets. You sell 10 tickets, you get one free. Sell 20 tickets, you get two, and you just keep rinsing and repeating. So use your affiliate link to help us get to our goal of 10,000 tickets this year, but also to give you a better chance of winning the Golden True Ticket Contest and 1 troy pound of gold. A commercial is going to break later on this morning, a little ad. It's kind of funny. I think you'll like it. So there'll be 2 funny ads that we have now, starring Chris Payne, who was our 2025 winner. And he still has his gold coins. And he's going to say, oh, you don't believe me that Mike actually gave me gold? Well, here you go. So, and that will be up on the creatives too as soon as it's finished. Win a poundofgold.com. Help us get to that goal of 10,000. Use your affiliate link and go in by, every time you got $50, go get another ticket. Your chance doubles then to win that gold. So win a poundofgold.com. Of course, you can also shop in our store, shop.mikechurch.com. And finally, you should become a member. You should join us. Go to the YouTube channel, subscribe at Real King Dude on YouTube. Please subscribe to our channel. Become a Dude Nation Medal member. You know, we are working on the Founders Trading Post store. If you become a gold level member, for example, you get the podcast, my podcast every day. You get podcast.mikechurch.com, the best playback of podcast in the business. So it remembers where you left off. You can make your own playlist. We have 11 seasons of this show, my speeches, special podcast features that I've been putting together and will keep putting together, all available to you for one low price. You get it all at podcast.mikechurch.com. You get the show, the transcript of the program every day. You get the chat room. You get the discount in the store. And you get first dibs on new releases that we have in limited quantities. So join us today, mikechurch.com/join. If news breaks out today, we will break in. As we always say, tomorrow night we have a very special, Steve Cunningham is going to be our special guest. Thursday night throwdown, greatest American game show. So, you know, bring your favorite game show. We'll also play some games. What? Family Feud. We'll also play some games during the show. It's at 6 Central, 7 Eastern tomorrow night. Steve will be our special celebrity panelist tomorrow night. Come and join us. Maybe another surprise coming tomorrow night, too. Hint, hint. But if news breaks out today, we will break in. Thanks for watching. We know that you have a choice in what to listen to and what to watch, and you chose us, especially those that you suffered through the entirety of the program. God bless you. So, St. Margaret, Queen of Scots, pray for us. God bless you all, and Mary keep you.
He's got the truth on his side. The liberals can run, but they'll never hide. He's a friend of Mr. Madison as he fights all leftisms. He supports our troops over there, stands up to the kooks from care. He's the king dude of the nation of Dude. Red, white, and Dude Nation.